All right, and a good evening and welcome, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Greetings. All right, so we're here on the FairGrow Midnight Show. It's going to chat on the late night evening tip, have a bit of a discussion, and just chill out like we did the other day. Go through with those good vibes. But before I go any further on this program, let me stop and give my respect, acknowledgement, and recognition to all the traditional and original custodians of the land masses around the world, that being the indigenous people, past, present, and future representatives. Speaking this truth in order to try and bring about a broader sense of harmony between us all, and our connection to nature. Also, where I'm broadcasting from in the Adelaide Plains, it's Ghana country. So the Ghana people, it's their traditional land. So with that being said, we must recognize nature has a remedy. Ganja is the greatest gift given, and we got to free the yarndi. So much. I do hope the audio is coming through clear enough. I'm trying to pick up the performance a little bit and get a bit of content preparation going. But so look there myself. Much appreciate Smitty coming through, but on the late night tip, it's kind of like it's going to be the new late night show. Representing like David Letterman, those two Jimmy fellas, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Jimmo. The grow, yo. I'm just having a look. My internet's a little bit stickety slow. But yeah, actually, also I'll mention that. Hit the like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those good things. If you have any resonation with this. Okay, sound is coming through all right. Sweet as. I better not sound too close because it might be a bit static. But yeah, because I've obviously been a little bit slow with how I'm going, but anyway, just trying to get it right, get some program going on, and keep it smooth. For everybody that's in the house, I do appreciate that, and thank you for joining the stream. But if it's live either, I'll drop the link there. I'll pin it in the chat for anybody that comes through maybe a bit later. Once again, a little bit impromptu, nothing really organized for the moment. But I'll get up, bring up some sort of, what do you call it, viewing, I guess we can put up in the meantime. If somebody comes through, that'd be right. Even if not, it's all right. It's cool enough, Jill and Mac Bill, and we'll go through here, I guess, first off. Go to the the Canna Reviews website. Just check if there's been anything additional to the flower range in the past 24 hours, which I seriously doubt, but you never know. So we'll go by show filters. Flowers 198, so it seems it's the same amount there. Sort by newest. And yeah, looks like the same. So they're up there. So there's a lot of options there, which I'm very keen on trying myself because, I haven't had the option to access them. And there are the new, like these little green farmer ones. I'm very keen to try Lemon Glow and Moonlight. Both got 5-star ratings. Both at a very reasonable price of $135. And also this Cannatrek Golden Bay Sativa Ultra Sour at $150. Hopefully you can get the discount on that. There are these other ones which obviously like 160, I guess it's not that fanatically bad, but anything like 180 plus, it makes me, a little bit hesitant to grab because I realize that, I find I've already got quite a few flowers in that price range of 135 to 40, which are very, pleasant in my opinion. They got good terps, good effect, sativa and indica, or even hybrid. So to get that one the extra one for like if it's 200, it's nearly another 50% extra, and the quality of the flower is just not that much greater. So, initially I was there, happy to try them, and I still will be willing to try them, give them a go, but I'm just a bit hesitant to make it an every week thing, just currently in my situation. But hey, it's just my story. Um, what do we got here? So I was looking at that. Everyone's keen on this jealousy. We've got Baccio Gelato, Indica Dominant, out of stock currently. It's the Cookies 41 and Sherbet B by Seed Junkie. So it's obviously a very reputable, I guess, Jamaican flower. That's why people are very keen to try it for the moment. Flip it up another window. So yeah, what's going on with everybody? I hope everybody is chilling, Magdalene, doing all right. Just trying to pick up the vibes, keep them going, doing the same thing. What are we supposed to do? Are we here for advice? Are we here for life? Or are we just here to make moves, and do the do? I think it's probably the latter, make moves and do the do. Get some preparation done. We all need time to wind down. But at the same time, we can't just wind down and expect things to, fall in our lap or change the way we expect it to. You'd be that would just be the chance. It would be like a lottery for things like that to happen. And even that, once you can be prepared and have everything covered, your bases covered, and then things just, you never know, something occurs. And on the flip side, you could be completely distraught and desperate. But from out of nowhere, an opportunity arises. And if you grasp that opportunity with sincere and, take full accord and full action towards implementing the reward, you'll be able to achieve and focus. But I'm still moving on my way now. I'm like, because I guess each and every one, we have our own experience. Just take advice from each other, but it's, I don't know, finding peace within yourself, man, and just attaining that contentment and solace and humbleness, attachment to the earth, consistently and constantly, as you wake, as you go through your day, as you just before you go to bed, stop and think about all these things, and just try and keep that. Well, that's what I guess I'm trying to do, constantly keep focus on that sense. And easier said than done too, like even in the environment, to be honest, I guess maybe people might have seen it, I don't know, but my vibrations aren't, definitely not in a harmonic place at the moment. I'm not in a good environment, and things like the surroundings aren't great, and just, which is like, and I guess I could only say that at a point because I'm coming to maybe like a slight crossroad, and I made decisions where I'm trying to just not do the similar things that I've done most of my life. And even saying that could be the wrong thing. Like, why turn your back on what you've done? I'm not turning my back on it, I'm just not engaging on it as much. So something you built up though too. You spent your whole life. So anyway, this is what life is. Nobody really knows, but at the same time, I'm not willing to continue something where I'm benefiting and gaining income or stature or just acceptance of society when I have to, use other people to gain that sense of stature, or which is basically any part of capitalism or society. But just, I just really do not resonate with that. We're all people with a tribal connection to society, to earth. That is what our natural, what's the word, like, movements, presence, that's what it's about. The person that birthed you had the same characteristics, like the need of water, the need of oxygen, companion, sleep, light, house, things like that. And yeah, I mean, like I said this yesterday, so I'm not going to keep going, but nobody's here at the moment. So just like technology is not natural. Plants, man, plants, not powders. Plants. Appreciation, everybody, sticking around. I'm not gonna humble pie. I'm not gonna sit here and mope and joke and dope. But I just came home late night and I thought, well, maybe this is the time to keep it going. A late night talk show. Just got to grab a lighter from there. There it is. We'll just check in the StreamYard. Anybody's there? Nope, nobody's there at the moment. Hey, what's going on? Hans, sorry, my brother. Thank you for coming through. That's right. Only high grade. Thank you, doctor. Hope you're good, bro. Hope you're good. Just chilling. Just really kind of laid back vibes here at the moment. Just thought I should maybe continue this form of a late night show. Just the late night Australian chill stoner vibes from midnight, the midnight show. I'll put on. Oh wait, I'll go in here and just check out. Hope everybody's got some fine flowers or extracts with them too. Just enjoying. Had a good day, chilled out for the most part, was productive. Because I guess this is another essential key to with realistically speaking, it is really about like just sitting around. Like, to be honest, like I never engaged in that sort of stuff. I was very quiet, and up through my teenage and 20s when I was really active, just saw no point in talking unless it was actual, a progress. So you were engaging in something, you were about to do something, and this was going to happen to this and that. So not just whimful. So same time for the past year, pretty much it's been on that level of conversation, just kind of talking, and I don't know. I have found it a little bit. What's the word? Like clashing in the way. Like it's not magnetic. It's it repels it like in that sense. So I've got to really like take sincere notice, I guess, of what's going down, and prepare and actually have a plan to make progress and steps forward within this field, and the kind of what do you call concept or culture, rather than just talking about it. And because as I said, I had this yesterday, like I'd rather be active and engaging with this flower and making quite a bit of income and funds and supporting myself, and not being online and not being on any social media and like under the radar, but doing my thing. Whereas it's been about 5 years where I've told myself, look, let's try not to do that and find, income from different ways or whatever. And, and I've reached within myself a place of acceptance, I guess, of that fact. Like, because that's one skill where a skill set that's pretty much I know how to make funds, right? But at the same time, I'm trying to not, and I won't. So in saying that, but I'm still definitely got a much respect for people sincerely involved for the, you know, for righteous reasons and who move in a righteous manner within that field. Like, so to represent that in a sincere way and have a like a realistic point destination to reach, because it's a very serious thing. People have been locked up, people are getting fined, and there's family issues, there's whole sorts of just unnecessary dramatic, and then you get into violence and things like that but that whole violent element I think is very a boogie monster type boogeyman thing from the media. If you're actually out there involved, you'll find most people aren't out there to just go and cause violence, criminalize, and things like that. Most people want a sufficient flow and what's the word? A smooth flow. There's business and all that. So, yeah, and look what's happened to corporate. Corporate is there. 2016, it's been 8 years, no, 6 years or so. Like growth upon growth upon growth, like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars annually for something which was considered, and people were imprisoned for this, for selling flower, cannabis, Schedule 8, whatever product they're talking about. Nothing at all does it compare to any pharmaceutical or chemical narcotic. But yeah, anyway, so I'm saying what I'm saying, and I hope everybody does recognize it. And if you don't, that's cool, but I'm just saying it just, yeah. It's, and if I continue to say it, that'll be the complete hypocriticalness of it all and the immaturity of me, because I'm basically saying that point. It's not about talking, it's about making it. So plan an action, come and do it, see where you get next week, look back at it and go, all right, this is where we are, this is where we got, this is where we got to get to, and not just expecting things to fall in your lap for your favor. Right? So that's pretty, what's the word, I don't know how to tell it. Well, we got the Hooksters in the background. I just checked in the background over here. Bring him up. What's going on, mate?
Hey, wise words, wise words. It's all about action. People don't remember your words, they remember your actions. It's not your words that define you, it's your actions. That's what Batman says. Remember that. You want to be like Batman? Everyone wants to be like Batman. Do actions. What are you doing up this early in the morning? Fair? What are you doing up this early?
No, it's the midnight show. It's the midnight show from now on. It's gonna be the midnight show.
I love it. I was playing some Fortnite. I said to myself, all right, one last game. And I looked at my weed. I said, one last bong. I looked at my bong, and I looked at my phone. Battery's almost dead. Got a notification for YouTube. It's Fairski, mate. It's Fairski. Says he's live now. Come over here. Says you've been live for 10 minutes. Party's been going on. I let yesterday go. I listened in yesterday's stream, and I didn't want to. What's that word? Gate crash. I have a tendency to gate crash, so I'll try not to gate crash every party that everybody has. But this time, if you have a midnight party, I'm definitely. If I'm awake, I'm rocking up. I'm crashing it.
That's all
crashing
right.
it.
As long as you don't know. Yeah, you bring it. Bring a bag. You're more than welcome. Take a seat.
Bag of weed.
Bring a bag and a plate. Somebody that just comes around doesn't bring a plate or doesn't bring anything along.
No sausages. No sausages for the party. Yeah. Then next minute, everyone brings sausages. And then there's like 10 blokes and 100 sausages. 110 sausages. Yeah.
Sausage
110
party.
sausages. That's a sausage. That's a great movie, by the way. Have you seen it?
What? No.
No. Oh
Sausage
my
party.
god. Yes, you have to see at least the clips on YouTube. You'll laugh. You'll fucking laugh. Yeah,
Maybe. I
Sausage
don't know.
Party.
Let me see.
It's about basically
Is it like
stripping
a Seth
items.
Rogen type thing? Oh, no.
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Seth
Yeah, it
Rogen.
is.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I
He
haven't
directs
seen
it.
it, though. Yeah. I thought it's people. I must have heard of it, but I don't never saw it.
The sausage is a sausage party. It's basically where they think they're going home. Imagine if you're a sausage like a Frankfurt, and you think that you're going when you get bought from the shop that you're going to like a heaven. Everyone who goes out of the shop. Anyways, you got to check it out. It's funny.
Yeah.
Sausage Party. I'm definitely not.
I was playing Black Adam yesterday for a bit, and then it got suspended. It was cool it came back, though. I was playing a movie, and then on one of those solar sites, and the algorithm picked it up or whatever. It's cool. Just keep it to talk show, fair. No cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema. Oh man, we got 6 people rolling through. This is turning into the late night hangout. This is going to be
back in.
If I get to 20
5, 6,
at midnight.
Yeah, then we're rocking it. Fucking oath. That's what I reckon.
Here we go. Smitty, Hands, Beeps,
Hansi,
yourself and all.
Hans Moleman. Hans Moleman. I used to have the first guy that I ever rented a house from. It was a 2-bedroom flat. His name was Hans. It was for $110. Paid $110 a week from Hans.
For the whole house or for the room?
For the whole house. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. $110 a week. And I actually grew a plant there as well. I actually grew a plant there. I was 16. I grew a plant at the house, a flat.
Oh, it's a flat. It's a 2-bedroom flat or 1-bedroom flat?
2-bedroom flat with three houses in the flat.
Wow, man.
And a share yard.
Price.
A share yard. And the thing is, my next door neighbor was my sister. So there was an old lady down the end, so she didn't know what a weed plant was. And I grew a weed plant down where they had the laundry, because you had a separate laundry.
Yeah.
So
on your belt.
Plant there. Little one.
Oh, that's cool. What suburb was that? What area?
That was Salisbury Downs. Yeah. Just behind Salisbury, there's a little Parrow River there.
Yeah.
Behind Salisbury there. Yeah, just around there.
Cool.
Not far, just up the road from the old Holden's building.
Oh yeah, factory where they built the car. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
That's a shame, eh? Fucking.
Yeah, it is. That was the end of everything. That's the end.
The car I've got though actually was built here. I got a Holden Cruise, and it's like, I think it was 2012. They stopped making them here, and they went to Korea. But this car is made early 2012 or something. They just made it within the Australian one, which is a cool thing, but it's just a fucking shame. Anyway, helpful. I've been slack with my car. Like, it just sits there, and I'll walk everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's expensive anyway. It's good to get out. I can't wait to fucking get back on the road, get my own vehicle.
I'm getting sick of catching the bus and walking though now. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I gotta wait too much. Because the places I've got to get to, it's like, just, before it was alright, it's like a 20-minute drive. So it'd be like a 40-minute round trip to get to
sometimes
the
2 buses.
Home.
Sometimes two
every
buses.
every day. The whole route is that like the 300 goes in a square, but where I go, which is down one street, this particular street is the junction where the loop stops and starts. So I have to catch, and that's still where it fucks around because I'm most of the time sitting there 20 minutes waiting for the next one to come. Where anyway, I'm fucking explaining to myself the situation, which is like I can figure out so easily. So it's getting, because I've been catching the bus for about a year now. And, it's cool enough, but it just gets annoying.
Yeah.
I'll be like, vroom.
As soon as I got my wheels, I'm cruising, mate. Cruising. There's so much shit that I got to catch up on. Get that done, and then bang, go around Australia. You want to come with it if you're still here? Fair? Adelaide.
Are you doing a gear? Are you going to do a gear?
I'm not so much a gear, maybe a little bit quicker. No time to stop.
Just go around. Yeah, okay. Just keep driving. Just
just grow and see whoever's the closest house as I cruise, and just rock up to someone's house.
And stay that night and go. Yeah. Okay.
Go to the next one. All the way around up to Canberra, right up to Queensland. Maybe I miss out on Northern Territory. I don't know. It's pretty far up there. We'll see. Catch a plane over to the west.
You haven't travelled though, have you, yet out of state?
Yeah, I've been every state, everywhere. Okay. Yeah.
You've been to places. All right, cool.
Yeah. I've been. I used to travel with the Adelaide show, and not the Adelaide, but the show. Travel around Australia with the fucking carnies.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow. So they go to pretty much a lot of cities, eh?
Same ones. Yeah.
Okay.
A few other jobs I've had, a few other bits and pieces throughout the life.
They go to like capital cities and then there's bigger regional towns, eh?
Yeah. And then they also do like a Luna Park, I suppose, that stays open.
Oh, okay. I went there once in Melbourne. If it's still even open. That thing was getting shut down. The big mouth. There's a big smiling cunt you see at the front. I can't believe anyway. I can believe it, but it's to give the amethyst a 7.8.
It didn't have the gassiness it needed. Fair. It needs the gas.
Okay.
It didn't have any gas. That's all. Wanted some gas. That's all right.
Did you get a Swedish, like a slight sweet terp in there? Yeah.
Yeah,
no gas.
A considerable large amount of terp, but like I said, that California orange I had after was a lot more tasty.
Right. Okay.
So if it's hard to compare to the California orange, which is a homegrown, then
a different terp, but it's very powerful.
Yeah, for sure. I was fucking in a daze, so days most of the day after, just from that cone. But yeah, as for taste, if it's something for looking for taste, it's not what I'm looking for. Baker.
Yeah, it's my preference though. So anything with proper, like loud, prominent terpenes. So if it's piney or earthy, as they say, spicy, I would still respect it, but the preference would be to be sweet and gas.
Same, sweet and gassy, like a should I say a grape, like a grape grape orange, maybe pine, a grape piney grape. There you go.
Yeah, not so much orange, but the grape or the candy, like sweet, like sugar, pretty much. Yeah.
Sweet. You know what I think of now? I'm thinking of all I can hear is Homer Simpson doing that. You know how he gets that candy off that lady's butt?
Yeah.
Sweet, candy, sweet. And they just keep playing it as he pulls it off. That little segment.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet candy, sweet. Ah.
As long as
Sweet
it's not
candy, Hans.
grassy. Yeah, I can grow. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not keen on the grassy stuff until I've got none left. My friend gave me some grassy stuff, right? And I was like, nah, I don't want to smoke it. So I put it away until I ran out of weed. And then when I ran out of weed, I was like, yeah, that's perfect, man. Now that I got more respect, I can respect that weed a little bit more. You can't respect that weed if you got better weed. That grassy stuff.
The topaz. You gotta try topaz. Topaz.
Well, I'm
Everybody
expecting
loves
some
the
kind of
topaz.
gas, some sort of something floral. I want some deep floral. Yeah, that's what I want. Floral taste.
That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
The sausage party. I'll bring a see if there's anything online. Mm-hmm. 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 What's on the? What are you blazing at? Don't come
Just
to the midnight show
regular.
and fucking yawn into the camera. You got to have your sleep before the midnight show.
Yeah, you gotta sleep at 6 and wake up. Set your alarm for 11:30 to get ready for the midnight show. It's funny. Easily amused. That's all I can say. Well, I can speak for myself, and I'm happy to say easily amused. What can I say? I am easily amused.
So the one that you got last week, it's pretty happy with it.
Pretty much.
Not so bad.
Yeah, it's the same stuff as you saw the week before, but it's a lot better. But it's still not. I can't get any more. This is the last. I'm all out. Once this is gone, and they run out.
Oh, really?
So I'll be fucking chasing, maybe doing some fucking medical scams, mate.
Yeah, I'm not doing medical scams. Just try the program. Even the Indie Med, Indie Med, $100 for 15 grams.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't tried it yet, and
It's got to be better than this turd.
Yeah, it probably would be. I don't know.
I think it would be. No, I do know. It would be. It has to be. They couldn't possibly sell anything like this. It wouldn't be. If I ever get any product like this from the medical, I'll be extremely disappointed. You know.
What is it? What, the lack of structure, or
lack of everything, really.
Lack of everything, yeah.
Lack of a little write up to say what it is, for starters. You know.
What do you mean?
Well, I'd like to know what I'm smoking. You know.
Oh, okay. So it's the unknown kind of thing.
Yeah. And plus the fact that it's just shit. But it does get me stoned, which is all that matters. You know, it gets you stoned, but like I said, I want some good taste. This ain't doing it.
Yeah. How much are you going through? Like a few grams every day? Like, is it in the amount? Or it's strong?
Wait, an ounce a week.
Okay.
Yeah. An ounce a week. Easy. I'd smoke a little bit, maybe a little bit more, maybe 30 grams if I had it, 35 grams a week.
Interesting. It would be a very interesting experiment to see, you know, the result in the difference. Like to see if if you did get a couple of topaz to see, like, or whatever, any high grade strain. Yeah, and to see what happens. I reckon it would be considerably like lengthier because I cut down quite a bit. It went from about 5 grams a day to move down to 3, at maximum. So I'd say if you're on 4,
Yeah,
you could probably cope with like 2 to 3. Yeah.
for sure. I'd hope so. I would expect that I'm going to cut back. I'd hope at least 30%.
Okay.
Or a third, at least a third, because the quality will be there, and I won't have to worry about that. Quality
See,
is
that's
simple
what
there.
that's where it kind of makes sense to me in the way of like $13 a gram buds, where when they're 20 a gram, it's like 30% better. You're paying double the price. If you can get high grade for 10, then yeah, go for that. But when it's like just that little bit, $3 extra when they're 30 there, it's pretty, and then you guarantee this turkey really nice, pleasant. I think
Yeah.
it's worth going for that. Yeah. Anyway, that's just fucking me. It is price point though, because it's like it's money, man. It could be on food, it could be on bills, it could be on saving for something like.
Yeah.
So yeah, gotta put that into account. It could be on booze, mate. I could be putting in the pokies. Not.
Yeah. Pokies, man.
Nah.
Waste of money.
Yeah, mate.
Try and win enough to get yourself a pound, eh?
I've seen all these videos.
I never watched them ones. I never watched the Australian news channel ones.
Yeah.
Well, lads.
This fella. I haven't seen this one.
All right, go on.
Yeah, you on your way out? No, you're right. Do it.
Yeah,
It's Barry
yeah,
and Barry and Joy.
I'm gonna head to bed in a minute. Get some shut eye. Nice and stoned. Really stoned.
That's cool.
What are you looking at here? What's this one?
Grandparents illegally growing cannabis to save granddaughter with epilepsy. 60 minutes Australia. Give it a second and it'll come up.
How old's the video?
3 years ago. Barry and Joy Lambert. Hang on a second.
This paddock full of cannabis lies in the Hunter Valley north of Sydney.
1, 2, 3.
On your mate.
At first glance,
Look
it
at it,
appears
see?
an odd place to
Their
spend
granddaughters.
time
Anyway.
with your granddaughter. Oh, but what brought Barry Lambert, one of Australia's most successful businessmen, and his wife Joy here, is sheer desperation. The fight to save 4-year-old Caitlin.
She's not breathing. She can't breathe. We need to open up. Someone call Dad.
How does cannabis help Caitlin?
From the first day she improved, she got clearer in her mind, she wanted to do more, she was more active and she was happier, and that is basically what happens to every child.
Does cannabis stop the seizures?
Yeah, she has been hospitalised for the seizure
seizures.
for about 10 months or so.
So you reckon this really works?
It really works.
Stop it slightly for a bit of commentary purpose, but once again, the kind of sarcastic, immature, not such a, just sarcastic question from her. You reckon it really works? Of course it works. He's like, he's there seriously for his granddaughter, and she knows it works, but she's just proposing that question. like a fool. Like a fool.
Scientific
Now
now.
Barry and Joy,
Cheers, guys.
who
Bong
until
on
very
fair. Good to
recently
see you,
had
brother.
never even seen cannabis, are financing a medical revolution in Australia.
There's a little factory that makes your medicine. It comes out of here.
They've invested in this commercial cannabis farm and donated $34 million to unlock the scientific secrets of the plant. And it's not just helping Caitlin, is it? This is potentially helping thousands.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not just for Caitlin. This is for a whole range of various conditions.
Where's she gone?
And that's what the research is about, is to prove that medically so that doctors will be convinced.
Where's she gone? Do you feel like trailblazers?
No, we're just doing what's right, yeah.
What do you think of your father's generosity?
Well, that's Big Baz. It's Barry. He doesn't drive fancy cars. He just he does the right thing.
It's philanthropy born from pain. Caitlin's pain. From the age of 6 months, this beautiful baby started having uncontrollable seizures. Her father, Michael, was powerless to stop them.
You know when it's happening, you can hear it from the other side of the room. You hear it going, and, like that. And it's pretty hard to take. Harder for her because all that electricity racing through your brain actually does damage.
And how long has her longest seizure been?
2.5 hours. And the longest one started in the emergency department, and a room full of doctors couldn't stop it.
I went in and she was still seizing, but one of the nurses was crying. So that really told me something, because when children have long seizures, there's a lot of damage.
Caitlin was eventually diagnosed with a rare and catastrophic form of epilepsy called Dravet syndrome.
Yes.
Each seizure causes brain damage and can be fatal.
Yeah.
Under conventional treatment, these kids don't have a long life expectancy because they often die during a seizure sometime.
1 in 6 dies.
What do you say to Mummy? What do you say? Thank you. Thank you.
Fearing time was running out for Caitlin, they did their own online research and discovered cannabis was a potential treatment for epilepsy.
Squeeze it out, and I usually just put it on a chip.
So Michael started importing this cannabis paste from Denmark, and the impact was startling.
A little bit medicine.
A radical reduction in the number of seizures.
When we gave it to her, I just said to my wife, holy smokes, it works. You could just see, instead of all this noise in her head, it was just clear. And instead of jerking and dribbling and this, it just walked out. Like there was nothing wrong.
It's so intense, like I'll stop for a little bit of commentary purpose, obviously, but you know, nearly every single situation we see of these examples from the media, which would be very far and few between of the realistic sense of it, like there would be thousands, I would imagine, thousands of families just like this one, with the and the children. It's just kind of, they're so innocent, they're so young, and it's like, so with so much potential and beauty within them, and like it's so evident. This natural plant extract, very simply made. Like there's not, there's like, I'm sure, because there's levels of potency and things like this and whatever they make the equipment. But if someone was to just do a very simple extract like they would have done centuries ago, right? Just with some boiling water, things like that process. Like she, the child has got immediate benefit. And it's just, he's saying you can see the clarity, so the confusion where, and I'm also thinking about the option of this it's such an innocent young child who's under 5 years old, or some 6 months. She started seeing these things, and to give it treatment of, chemical pharmaceutical products, which they know will mask the situation, I guess, but then he said that instead of seeing drool and a zombie look, like, she's not really connecting. There's a clarity there with the cannabis, but there's the other side effects, the toxicity levels that the child's liver system's got to deal with and things like that. It's evident. It's very evident and obvious. Like, I'm not in any way a medical professional, but just like resonating with that thought, it makes a lot of sense, like common sense and simplistic, and not even that, just to see these simple examples, like, as that's what the point began with. It's I guess main fight is against the opposing or the current establishments, I guess, who don't want to relinquish any position that they have. And this is the natural remedy and the most what's the word, like, potent or successful, strongest remedy. Anyway, we'll get back into the video. Much peace and appreciation for everybody hanging around. I hope you're happy, that it's all good, and I do thank you sincerely. Like, want to put some content across, which is hopefully going to keep being just as beneficial as the cannabis itself.
Nothing wrong with it.
What game are you playing there, Poppy?
I don't know.
I've never done it before.
I'm blowing a ton.
Is the stuff you're giving Caitlin making her high?
No. It clears her mind. It's making her less drowsy, less confused.
But it's cannabis, it's marijuana, and marijuana makes you high.
It doesn't. Raw cannabis is not psychoactive. It doesn't make you high.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
But there was one major problem. Giving this cannabis medicine to Caitlin was illegal. The Lamberts were forced to become lawbreakers in their bid to save her.
We couldn't wait. Every day we waited, there were seizures, and she'd have to be in hospital, and then she'd come out. And is that any?
Yeah, I'll just stop a little bit there, because to that point where she said, "Oh, it's cannabis, it gets you high," and then immediately he had a response of, "No, it doesn't." Obviously the way it's prepared. So I'm just thinking intuitively. I'm not sure, and anyone in the chat, if you could help, it'd be good, appreciated. But I'm guessing that it's the decarboxylation of the THC, which allows it to be psychoactive. It's like the heat from the smoke or the certain heat from oven temperatures to make it edible. So without that, and just the simple extraction of other cannabinoids, or even the extraction of the THC, if it's is it the THC-A and the THC, the acid form, which isn't psychoactive, but I'm guessing that was the form of his response. Like, she's ingesting it, but it's not reacting with her mental state as a psychoactive drug, rather than it's just what's the word, reacting with her the receptors which are causing the spasms and the muscle spasms, is calming that down, and it's just sort of so amazing. It's just, anyway, it's because there's so many examples like it. That's anyway, we'll keep going with it. There's another 9 minutes to go.
Any way for a family to live. Just people live it every day.
So how desperate were you?
Built this man cave just to have a place where I could go and watch the footy, have a few boys around and do what blokes do.
desperate enough to stick my neck out. I thought at 67, which I was then, they can't do anything to me. What can they do to me? They could put me in jail, but that doesn't change me. I don't think people would understand how much of a difference it's made to them.
To truly understand the Lamberts' resolve, you have to appreciate where they have come from. Barry grew up on a dairy farm in Taree on the mid-north coast of New South Wales.
Mother died and I was 10 and lived with the old man.
One of how many kids?
One of 5 boys. I was the second youngest, so you had to be fairly tough with them. Played a lot of sport and cricket and all that sort of stuff, as you would.
While still at school, he met a feisty redhead, Joy Cole. So what did you think when you first met Barry?
Just a stunner. I'm sorry, you go ask that question.
What did you think?
Well, obviously, I thought he was a very sexy man. He had
Obviously.
really sexy legs. I used to write little notes and put him with his lunch.
Barry and Joy married 50 years ago, and children soon followed. But then, tragedy. Their second daughter, Nadine, died when she was 2.5 from a rare brain swelling condition called hydrocephalus.
It was a long time ago.
But do those memories come flooding back?
Oh, they do all the time. But it was 40-odd years ago, so you sort of, it's not as though it's yesterday.
They soften, but they don't go away, is the best way I can describe it. It really kills you, but you don't die.
Just over there for a second, just so you comment there. That's it, right? Obviously, all the best, definitely, and how it felt, and it's just, and you recognise that fact there, and it's there's so many people going through this situation, right? The option for them is what the doctor recommends at the hospital, most likely, which is going to be a chemical narcotic pharmaceutical product. That's their first option, and when it's just like, oh my god, it's just crazy. Like, what would it take for? And we're watching an example here on the video too. Like, it takes illegal measures and illegal steps for that child to receive the cannabis because the doctor isn't handing it out. There's no place to really access it. It's up to the guardian or the parent to try and, grow or access the plant somehow themselves, or the product themselves, the oil, and they run risk all the time doing that, which we see many, many, many stories, and we've seen for decades, right? I guess, and overseas, some changes have come, maybe, like in Americas, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, the CBD, the Charlotte's Angel, I think it's called, and I'm not sure what impact that really had over there in regards to their laws and regards to people changing their stance and position, or thoughts against it. Obviously, it made a bit of a fairly impact, or it was a fair factor impact because fair factor to it, sorry, being that it's international news and it's spread everywhere. So, but I hope the best. Yeah, we obviously all hope the best for like your little one and him or her. Sorry, not sure. And okay, her. I mean, it's obviously her. Yeah. So and sorry, but I'm a bit just slow on the lateness tip, but that just hits home there, man. Because there are people in the chat with this situation is going. When I'm watching this thing, I said, "Oh, this individual, among thousands of other families out there, this is just within Australia, right? Like, so the thousands within the million population. We only got tens of millions of people in this whole country, which is at the standard of the first class around the world. And yet sees tens of thousands of these sort of cases, if not more. And then to see it on, but it's yet and still has to be taboo. And these people are taking illegal measures, as you just said, because the options are something like this. You take your child to the hospital and they offer them really hard, really strong drugs. Obviously not in massive doses, just in enough to remedy the child, but you don't want to be giving toxic things when we know there's an option of cannabis there. But let's just get back into this video and try and finish it off. Listen to what is it? It's Barry and Joy Lambert. They're in northern New South Wales somewhere. So, I mean, you guys can check it out yourself if you want, but just keep going.
Even if you feel you want to. And having already lost a child, we know what's possible. You try and save your children with something wrong, but when you've got that thought in your head, and I didn't want Mike to go through what I felt I went through. He can be quite an emotional person, which is good. He'll have a cry and I'll say, that's okay, darling. It's good to cry.
You're going to have a go on the quad bike? Does that sound fun? Yeah? Yeah! She's a happy, beautiful little girl, but there are obviously problems there.
Yes, there's, according to the doctor, she's definitely retarded and has a whole range of problems. But as parents, it's hard to accept. We can see the damage, but we also know that she's got a growing brain, she's got a hope, she's got a future, and if we can stop the seizures, we can give her that future, a future to grow a brain, and she'll never be the smartest kid in the class, but if she can walk and talk, she'll be doing well.
This Aussie guy just made $100,000 in the past 3 months. His name's Tommy, he's 18 years old and he's based here in Adelaide, Australia. Tommy.
Something positive had to come out of all this pain. And when Barry sold his business network, Count Financial, to the Commonwealth Bank, he became a very wealthy man. But then the Lamberts did something truly remarkable, donating $34 million to cannabis research here at Sydney University. It's one of the largest donations to medical science in Australia's history. You didn't think twice about donating $34 million to medical cannabis research?
It was only 33.7, by the way. So.
33.7. Ah, there you go. So
just to be accurate, yeah.
It's a bit embarrassing, really. It's the recognition it's got, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's you know, if you can afford it, why not? Like, you can't take it with you.
People like Barry don't come along every day, do they?
Well, no, it's quite transformational in terms of my life. I'm a scientist in Australia and apprentice.
Well, it's just like, just to think, you know, it's a great, beautiful thing, and you know, that this man did, and as he said, he had the ability to do it. So, you know, and that's just amazing, and I'm grateful that he did, right? And I'm sure this whatever he is, a doctor at the university, is going to say the same thing, but it's just a bit, what's the word? Kind of not disheartening, but like it hits home to think that, you know, it takes something like, I guess, you know, not many people would have that amount of money, and then disposable anyway, but you know, for those that don't have that access to sort of any sort of extra finance, but have the child in that situation, you know, that have the same desperation, same willingness to help, but is I guess, yeah, he would have had the money to have a farm and to, it would have made it a little bit smoother. Not to say that that's the reason why he's where he's at or anything, but it's just sad a little bit to see, that the money talks really, and and money, it makes things a little bit easier and to go through, make things go through. Because I could imagine there would be people on the other side of the coin that wouldn't be as fortunate. They'd want to have these opportunities, but anyway, just grateful enough for Scott, and it's beautiful enough that he did share it, to think that, because that's helping everybody. I'll go keep playing it.
To scratch around from one grant to the next. We managed to get research done somehow. You're expecting to win a Nobel Prize with a tin can and a matchbox.
Professor Ian McGregor runs the Lambert Initiative.
So all the work that I'm seeing taking place here today is thanks to Barry.
It is, yes. I mean, and this is just a small amount of the work that's going on in the Lambert Initiative. This is our chemistry lab.
With this money, some of the best young scientists are now studying the various molecules of cannabis called cannabinoids, which could literally save young lives like Caitlin's and many others as well.
Somewhere in there, you may have a very potent anti-cancer drug. You may have something that's marvelous for dementia or schizophrenia or anxiety or Parkinson's disease. We firmly believe that there's a great treasure trove of future therapeutics amongst the cannabinoids.
In this right here.
Right here, yeah.
You ready? Good girl.
But while the scientists embark on this groundbreaking cannabis research, Michael Lambert can't wait. He's convinced little Caitlin is living proof of its medicinal value.
There we go.
It's an amazing plant. It's given us amazing hope that there is a future for Caitlin, and she'll still take the other drugs, and we're not going to throw away the medicine altogether. We're going to keep taking the other drugs, and we're going to keep listening to the doctors.
And to ensure a steady supply of this medicine, Michael started cultivating his own cannabis. Knowing he was breaking the law, he informed doctors, police, and even sent a crop sample to New South Wales Parliament House. But this transparency only landed him in hot water. Last year, he was arrested and charged with cultivation and possession of the drug.
Now, I love my Caitlin, and any law that says that I have to watch her die and not look after her is a stupid law. It needs to be changed.
So what you're doing for Caitlin, it's worth having a criminal record for?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to have a criminal record. I'm going to win.
Come on, chickens.
Medical necessity, right? You can't make a father watch his daughter die.
What does the chicken say?
Yeah.
Morally,
Yes.
you've got the high ground here, but legally, you're breaking the law.
The law is an ass.
Our son's breaking the law, yeah. We just give him support. Yep.
How do you feel about that?
Well, you've always got to rock the boat a little bit in life, I think.
Hand? Okay. I'll give you a hand.
These charges are still before the courts, but the Lambert family is confident of a legal victory and a medical one as well.
It's so beautiful out here, isn't it?
She doesn't know it yet, but little Caitlin may change the way Australia and the rest of the world looks at cannabis. What do you think Barry's legacy will be?
I would like to think that at the end of this process, we'll have 2, maybe 3 new cannabinoid drugs on the market. I'd like to think that one of them will be for pediatric epilepsy. We'll call it Caitlin's drug. But I'd really like to have one for pain, and I'd really like to have one for dementia as well.
It's all working for you, that plant, and everybody else.
Hello, I'm Alison Langdon.
That's pretty cool. Interesting. So that's really dope, actually. All right, Pete. White Ashes is coming through. Yeah, man, we got the midnight show coming through. Pretty much just going to be a chill, but absolutely good on him, absolute legend. And just to think, when I saw that, watching the crop there at the end, there's such a large crop, and obviously I was just wondering, must be all that grow is going towards that university donation and their research, all those flowers, which is amazing. So these are the kind of steps, same way that you just got to be pushing for that change, rather than just sitting around talking about it, trying to get things together. It's like, I mean, the man did have $34 million or $33.7 million lying around. But what a mad cunt. What a sick cunt, as we said over here. Once again, see, Midnight Show. Bringing that Kelly Hargrave all the way to the plains of Australia. Thank you, Mr. Executive Sessions. Coming through chilling. Just same old. Just went through watching a little bit of a beautiful thing. Hope you're doing good over there. Would be interested to know what flower you were blazing. Even if you had time, actually, and you don't have to, but to be come up and share some stories about the California flower culture. But I understand if you get it up and getting ready, that's cool. What about everybody in the place to be? What are we blazing on? What are we blazing on? I'm still blazing on some of the Black Domina, which I might go over here and check it out. Oh, baby, what can we do? We can check it out. Looked it up yesterday, the Black Domina, so we'll look up ultrasound today. Okay, check with it just to see anything comes up. And a drag. I'm very keen to try this. What's this thing? Very cool Cannabis Access Point. No. This one. I've never seen this website before. Oh, it's one of these. Actually, I'm going through this place. This was the first place I went through. And they'll link you up with Astrid. Yeah, there's no. Let's see if they've got images. Boom. Medcan ultrasound. I've given this one a go. Try it. Very nice. Strong sativa with that, I guess, piney sour terp, Good though, very decent, very nice indeed. Fat structure. As you see that the colour was kind of a darker orange, a brownish, dark orange, a dark brownish green with the dark orange pistils. Can't find this counter trick one though yet. It's probably not around too much. What did I look up actually? Ooh, dang, look at these. I'll look up. It's the Kind Medical. But I really like. I haven't tried this. Oh, what is it? The Libra or the Stella? Oh, hang on, let me see what those ones say. I've tried 4 out of them. What do they look? But very well priced. And like, oh, okay, so these are different. So Soul is the CBD. EOS, I've never heard. Libra, Stella, Luna. Zoom it. Yeah, there's always Blue Dream. They're just like 135. The price point is really good. They're strong terps. I guess it comes down to preference. So some people don't disagree, but I did find with the Iris, the first 2 they like really to a preference. There we go. Oh, come on, you just zoomed in a second ago. Oh, dear. Okay. No, stay on that one. Oh, Death Baba is there still. Alright, so these are different ones I haven't tried yet. Cool. Ganja Man says the Soul one is good. He likes that. I wonder what this is. What Vladimir Mitrov is. Oh, he made the website, is it? Oh, okay, so he just did the design for that. But, yeah, they're really nice. I like it. I'm going to try and find a bit about the actual brand, I guess. So, Blue Dream being Azure. Oh, wow. Are you guys... Oh, my God. You can't even see what I'm looking at, and I'm running around. Oops, sorry. Sorry, everybody. It didn't really matter. I was just at pictures of some kind flowers. Still zoom there. Excuse my the word hardiness. I was just looking at the packages in that picture. Stella, Death Baba. Let's go to Counter Trick and have a look at it actually. Oh yeah. Oh, you peace, Jessa. How you doing? Now, stop screen. Present. Feel free, anybody. The link should be pinned. Chat, pick up. Chat, whatever. Express your vibe. It's cool. But if not, I appreciate you guys chilling around. Just probably going to look up the Kind Medical. I'm on. This is Canada Review's website executive. Basically for the program over here. It's a good website to find all the products and different doctors and clinics that be able to help you out. It's a pretty good website. So here we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. out of the 7, I have tried 4. And so how many of them are straight CBD? So one's like Libra, I wouldn't really be considering it. 6% THC, 6% CBD. It's a bit too low potency in both fields. What was the Stella? Oh, there it is, Stella. Oh, wow. Well, I didn't see it before. Azure is Blue Dream. It's got 4.8. Indica Don. Oh, that's probably why I didn't get it, didn't I? Okay, so they've got their pink kush, the roses, I found to be stronger than the beacon kush. So this would be maybe you never know. Like it could be the terps could be very good because that's what has attracted me to these guys. The way they cure it, I guess. Every flower is really nice. But for an indica option, you've got 26 and 21, I think, with high level terps. So 24 Dulce. That's the so Dulce is the highest THC percentage, but it's a hybrid at I think 60-40 indica dominant. Or maybe 80-20. I think the rose is 80-20 indica dominant. Iris 50-50. They're very good though. They're very good. Not many people are digging Dulce in regards to that, so I don't know. I guess I'll give Stella a go. I should just give, and the Indie Med, I do, it's been a year. I haven't even tried it, like, just due to the fact of my own, what's the word? Lack of confidence in the product, to complete just, there's no, fucking hell, like, I'm just making it up and imagining it, there's no information all the info I've got about it has been good. Everyone who knows tried it, they said, oh, yeah, it's decent. And they're obviously getting it, and they keep betting it, so it can't be that bad. None of them said, oh, it's great. It's very strong. It's got a lot of terps. So I just imagine it to be, because there's a chemist options at AmCal in the Gold Coast. They're offering like comparative options, so like really high THC, which is supposed to be compared to Topaz and compared to Rocky at kind of the higher price point. And they've got mid-range ones trying to compare with, I guess, kind, and then they've got budget options, which I guess kind of compete with this, but $90 for 10 grams. I bought 2 of those ones, and they were just like, yeah, it was flour, and it was like it worked. And it, but seemed it was old, dry, crispy, and lost all the terps. Because one of them, as I said previously, the Outlaw Amnesia one, actually both. It was Night Queen and Outlaw Amnesia. So Night Queen being indica, Outlaw Amnesia probably being the sativa. I put it in a glass jar with a boost or a Boveda humidifier thing, and after about 7 to 10 days, I found that some slight terp came back to them. It wasn't like it fully came back, but there was a little bit of a sense of a taste that I could imagine it would have been more prominent. But it must have just been old stuff they buy, trying to flip it off. So back to this, if this product is what they specialize in, then let's give it a go. I mean, 4.6 and 5. Wow. So one got 3.5. I saw Aussie Wooditting Australia yesterday. He was up on this late night stream, and he was fortunate enough to show his flower, and he's got this one. So similar thing. He said it's good. he's got another one, but it doesn't compare to Topaz, Solace, and these kind of top shelf ones which have heavy terps through them. But anyway, I should go because wow, basically you could get 30 grams for the price of one 10-gram tub, and just to splash it out to try. If you want to go try Rocky or something at $230 for 10 grams, definitely go and try this. Then 30 grams. Because that's the other point too. You get something of this, like, I guess, lower grade slightly, and I guess you're consuming at a higher rate too. So daily consumption of these really terpy, high quality, high grade strains here, the top shelf ones, might be 1 gram, or just ratio wise, half a gram session or something, and then. But if you were to use this indie med, you might be chopping up 1 gram at a time, so you go through it a little bit quicker. If there's a lot there, Kosher Kush, low stock. Okay, that's the one he was showing. So look at it; it's got the black and the purple sugar leaf to it. So, and these nugs were just like the ones he showed. What are these people saying about it? So, first of this new batch number. Alright, so they're all happy with it. They all just recognise it's got the best value, and it's maybe the same way I'm talking about Kind. The medical, it's like the value and the flower just makes it worthwhile. So the price has gone up $4, but $99 the best value. Yeah, I guess that's going to be the next one. There we go. But also the one thing with that, maybe I'll have to try, because the nurse or doctor I'm currently with, she's a bit very strict with the amount of monthly allowance. So, which is, she initially started me on 60, which was, not enough, because the previous place I was coming from was, I think it was 120, to be honest, because there was like 9 different flowers with 6 repeats, and I was getting it I could get it every 10 days, one of them every 10 days. And I could have got, so I could have got 9 every 10 days, 6 times. So basically 2 months. Anyway, so I could say that and work that out. But then, so she's nowhere near that. Increased it to 80, 2 tubs a month. So, but then if I take this tempo, she's basically saying that, that'll eat, if I get 2 of them, that'll be 3 of my scripts. So maybe if I can talk to her, hopefully, and say, look, this next one, can I get 1 script of tempo and 1 of this, and give me a 90-gram allowance? So it'll just be 8 scripts, but this particular month, hopefully, I give that a go. So this one, Canatrek, Little Green Farmer, they're the next ones to go for me. Like the really nice top shelf ones. Wait, Cloudy, what's up, mate? Hey, you just got up from a nap. That's what what is it? The 10th planet. Oh, cool. You're not it. Pink Kush wedding cake. Fuck yeah. Has anybody in the chat tried the Indie Med ones yet? Because, really, the price point on that one is amazing. $95 for 15 grams. You'd be pretty hard up finding that anywhere in Australia. unless you're buying bulk, like, and even if you buy, like, yeah, like in Adelaide, that's pretty much, that's a good street price to get a half for $100. So that would be like a mate's rates kind of. Oz for 200 isn't unheard of, but the quality on that one too, you wouldn't probably be finding the high grade at 200. Unless you kind of know someone, but. Cheers, everybody. See, check that out, man. Like, this guy in California sells 28 grams, $100, 1 ounce of fire. So would that be your mid-grade selection, but still very high quality, or that's the top shelf? What's the top shelf going for? An ounce of, like, the most exotic option. I still don't see. That's another kind of issue we've got. Like, you know, these flowers on this medical, even the highest grade one, a lot of people are saying it's kind of mid-grade options of Canada and America. Like, their top shelf is not even available yet. But still, and I'll say it again, and I've said it plenty of times before, the medical isn't the fucking end all or be all or the best flower or the best option at all. It's good. It's legal. It's consistent. It is to a certain standard and a par, right? Like a, what do you call it? A level, a benchmark. But an educated home grower, a passionate planter, someone with attention in the environment, and capability and genetics can do just as good a job or better. You know, and that's over here, and that's what I've seen in my experience. And it's like, you know, I dare say, like, yeah, I'm very humble to admit, I don't know incredibly much. I've seen, yeah. So there's extreme things out there. So I'd love to. I've been to Amsterdam, which was cool enough, but to get to California and see that sort of what our culture would be next thing, and then I guess Thailand is very on the list too, because they've legalized it completely and it's not very far away from Australia. Although I've never been to Southeast Asia before. What have we got here? Well, it's different to the 16. Oh, are you talking about the IndieMed? It's different to the 16. None of them are cool, more purple now. Oh, wow. So this is the Kosher Kush, right? The one that's on the screen? Because it's got that really dark sugar leaf to it. Still have better video. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that what? Yeah, see? Still had better. What's BM? Black market. Okay. Oh, right. See, there you go. I mean, but there's somebody who, you know, with experience and was like a strong dedication and advocacy into the culture, like full time into it, and you know, taking the options of his what he can access himself and what he's found in his network and foundations, rather than because he's tried a couple and just weren't to standard, really. That's interesting. I didn't realize that clearly yet. So what my top shelf that costs the most is, oh wow, you got them, man. Man, come on. I'm calling out for you, executive. I'm calling out now. But seriously, anyway, because this is available in the tobacconist just of recently. So I just got it. It's a terpene fused blunt wrap. It's got the toad terpene in it. pretty cool. You can taste it. But I'm not going to buy $6 just to wrap up every smoke. No way, it's not worth that. But I want to try the flower, but anyway, so you just got me excited and I fucking went totally off. That's cool. So you got the Mike Tyson. So it's very top shelf than I've seen it. So it's Jungle Cake for $180. Don't care if people don't like. Okay, right. But is that super high price? Would you consider it to be worth it? Like people don't really like paying it. Is it the same? I wonder if it's the same in the sense because I don't mind paying for the quality either. But maybe it's probably similar in that what I've just been talking about. Like it would be to try it, you pay it, and it'll be for a treat. But for an day purchase or other consistent purchase, the flowers which are like compared to 180, which there might be like the $100, which is still super fire, nearly half the price, but not like Tyson's not twice as good as the fire, so it doesn't equate. I don't know. Would you say that? Would you say Tyson's twice as good as the fire strain you were talking about for $100? It will obviously be better, but if it's 100% better, then that doesn't really, qualify you buying it all the time. But definitely pay for quality. You smoke a lot less. I mean, you don't have to smoke as much off that flower, and if you do smoke that same amount, you get extremely medicated. Oh, much peace to everybody, bro. I really appreciate everybody hanging around and coming through on this late night, midnight show with your host, FairGrow Australia. It's kind of, I don't know it's just a little bit of a chill down thing I'm thinking about doing, and to see 8 people, we just went down to 6, but just to see a few people here, man, that's actually really pleasing. Hey, Baf El Cavito. Good to see you. Never seen you first time, I think. Appreciate your presence. We're just chilling out. Maybe the American viewers are coming through a little bit now, but anyway, either which way, I do appreciate everybody. I'm just rambling and ranting about some cannabis culture. There's keep going here, talking about this here. We got in California, if you pay over $140 for an Oz, you get enrolled without a gun. But the Tyson and the Jungle Cake is called it's a representative because they usually can afford it. And okay. Well, so would you say that? So it is just slightly. It is better, but it's not that much better. It's at that price point too. Yeah, it's like to buy. It's like a class thing. Yeah, I can imagine. Rapper's weed. What the fuck? What is that? But then, same way, right? If somebody with those genetics, with the environment that pays attention to it, they could nurture just as good product to call it the rapper's weed, and basically, they could be living very, very very humbly, I guess. And then, they've still got that product and they've cultivated this awesome product that supposedly only rappers can smoke. If they can afford it. I would definitely imagine that's the case. And that's sad to see that it's branded in that way. And yeah, I guess because it kind of makes me think I've seen this Mr. Nice. Is it a little documentary on him? So what was his name? Harold Marks, is it? Or anyway, the Mr. Nice of like England, that mad what do you call it? He was like a smuggler of some sort back in the 80s. or 70s even, anyway, Mr. Nice. And he's just talking about how, in the 80s in Amsterdam, how that culture started birthed or came up with, because cannabis and its phenols is so different. He was talking about strains and the names and how they come about it. He's like, it's not going to be the same in the similarity, or I guess you got close on that, but even the wide variance among every batch of seeds, is prominent. So there is such huge variety in it. That's what I was getting at. So yeah, there's huge variety in it. So the reasoning for them to put these brands and certain price points and levels was really just complete marketing and economic driven, and really not much to do with a little. I mean, has to do with the flower, but then in actuality, in the realistic sense, there is such that wide variety. So, you could, with phenos, it could be widely different, right? So anyway, same thing with here. This, can imagine this wrapper weed, which is pretty, this, like, I don't know, because we wouldn't have it over here. Oh, I guess we do have it over here, but it's not as accessible. It's sad because that's not cannabis culture. Like, but, wow, okay. So we hear that a lot too. Like, well, I don't know, but just, heard that the, surplus growth in Canada and America, I guess, has led to really, really cheap prices. What was it? I think in Canada I was hearing like $400 for half a pound for high grade. Probably similarly, I don't know what level that was at, but I guess, yeah, like, depends who you're talking to, right? Like, if you're the grower or the middle operative or, salesperson, you would be trying to, I guess if you're making your margins, everything will still be steady, but the fact you've got to put out double capital just to make the same margin, you wouldn't be as pleased. But just to see the surplus from my point of view and the price points going down, it is a pleasing thing to hear that availability of high grade half pounds of $400. That's great. Because the plant is something which, understanding the effort that went into the person cultivating that. Okay, so that's why the price went down. So I guess, like, I could understand if they only had, say, 10 to 20 pound, or maybe 110, say 200 pound, because they're looking for their annual income, and that's legitimately because they've got a license and all of the stuff that's going on over there. For them to then go and get 40,000, I guess that's enough for them to just scrape through and survive for the year. But depending on the expenses to make 100 plants and cultivate it, it's going to be quite something. You need the property, you need the water, you need the nutrients. So they would obviously be expecting, and you said double. So they're expecting 80,000 and to be cut to 40, and you'd be expecting 80 plus. And this is only an example of, say, the 100, it's just small things. So, and there would be multiple people like that on a smaller scale. So, and who's buying that though? Is that 400 going to these medical dispensaries so they can then sell it to their customers, or anybody? Anyone can from the street can come in and get it at that price. Oh, here we go. Oh, I didn't even read your thing, bro. $400 pounds. Yeah, see. Oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's all about high grade. Ganja is the greatest gift given, man. You know, I'm really kind of down to earth and humble and just realistic about it all, and I appreciate everybody who has a sincere love for the plant, man, because it does bring everybody from all different walks of life, people you wouldn't expect to be talking to each other in, walking down the street. In reality, the plant just brings them together, and you have such a connection because you have such a love for the plant and understanding, and you talk about it forever. So, what's this next one? Me being a black market, social media 420, the price crashes. Has the price crashes helped but also hurt the brand in some ways? But you must adjust. Okay, so you just get there. Yeah, and then I mean, see, that basically thinks like one where medical or the current culture over here, or even where it's at, and I think maybe heard it on some documentaries about the American system, Canadian system. But see, these corporations come in with major capital, you know, that they've got access to, as opposed to, and they have no kind of footprint or any network within the current establisher of the culture. They're just coming in with a lot of money, the ability to build buildings and infrastructures and buy genetics and buy things out, as opposed to these smaller established current or existing ones, right? Existing grows who may still, they're surviving, right? And they're on that price point of, say, that 100 plant or whatever it is to get the 6 figures a year just to maintain their family and their living standard. With these huge corporations coming in, they come in initially with 10 times the amount of funds as these other people who are existing at the top level within the current culture and climate, but they're able to see where they're at and basically buy off their grow at even the same rate that they'd get for the whole year. So they're happy with what's going on. They would have done that in a year, but they get it straight away. But then this gives ability to the corporations to then kind of buy everything out and gain monopoly. And what I'm trying to get to the point is where they're at that point. If something else was to come unexpectedly, they have about triple of the capital sitting there for a moment like that. Even though they've got to where they're at and they probably most likely bought everything out in their first wave, they do have this mega more. And if there was a crash of the market or whatever, they could still invest to then build it and then own it. Which is kind of, hey, it's your boy, the Irish. It's midnight show, brother. Yes, it's the midnight show. We're coming through late night anyway, show. So, where was I at? And similar thing over here. Oh no, where was I at? Yeah, just the way the corporate is going to flood it, and then just take away the grassroots of the whole culture. Okay, that's what I did, because you said your comment that you got to keep adjusting to it, and that's where I'm at. So the same way, it's hard for somebody who's a solo operator or a 6-figure operator, or 5-figure operator, and you ain't got the tens of millions in capital, to deal with the fluctuations. It's so hard, because actually all business and most business goes through, you're not expected to make profit within the first few years of business. You're supposed to just money or break even. You should be considered lucky, right? Or you're doing okay, doing well. So to be able to withstand those losses in the first few years as a bum and pop or like, just a solo establishment, it's obviously going to be a bit more difficult, but you got to just work around it. It's pretty cool. Much peace, Empress Kia coming through. Or Kaya, sorry, I didn't even know how to pronounce it. Kaya, must be Kaya. Excuse me. Hope you are enjoying yourself. I appreciate your presence, most definitely. Much peace, always the vibrations. It's the best of vibrations I do hope to get out there. What are we going about? We're talking, and it's so cool to see everybody. I mean, this is like late night up in here, Australia. We got people from all walks of life, and all planes of countries. People from America and different parts of America, Canada, different parts of Australia, and just different parts of the world. It's fucking cool. Medicated yourself. We got this boy over here. It's your boy, the Irish. He has actually experienced a little bit of the current US cannabis culture, which is pretty cool, and he would have some pretty nice cool experiences, I guess. But even in saying that, look, like, shit. What is it? Is the cannabis culture a business for people to like take advantage of in that sense, and then try and reap benefit from and make a living and incredible? Is that what the cannabis culture is? Because if that's the sense, because there's, I guess everybody can make a little bit of income, but not everybody is going to make the huge amounts of coin. That's only, obviously, at any enterprise, you're only going to have very few people making extreme amounts of income. And like, once again, is that what it's about? Or is cannabis culture really more about everybody enjoying the plant on that natural birthright that we actually have as human beings, coming from a mother and a father? Every single person, birthed into earth to breathe oxygen, need water, and need care and stuff, and so that birthright to plant seed and cultivate from the land and gain from the sun, that should be given. Is that what the cannabis culture is about? And unfortunately, currently, to say in Australia, in no way is it the latter. It's very much the former, the first. Like, the corporate status coming and saying that, okay, it's about only a few people making extreme amounts of money. And unfortunately, this situation, you have to have a lot of capital to gain the licenses. I've looked it up on other streams previously, and it's like $100,000 annually in all of the fees, and that's probably just the base rates, and that's not including any bills or infrastructure. And listening to a couple of burners, or some documentaries, the burner in it, and he's going around like the license over there for the cookies to get their dispensaries going, or I think it was, or any entry point, it was 60 million just for that, just to enter there, and so you need on top of that, and so the people on the street, man, there's no way would they have that much, or the ability to go get a loan for that much. But they would have the capability to understand the culture, understand the network, run the network, because they're about it, and they are the culture, because they're running it currently. But unfortunately, the laws just muck it about. It's really sad. And like, that's realistic, and I'm not just whinging and complaining. I'm just talking off the top of my head. So as I was telling him yesterday, I don't want to be just whinging in my ears about planning and organizing and trying to, maneuver in a way best possible to try, aspire to your ventures, you know what I mean, or aspirations. And it doesn't happen overnight in no way. That's right. See, it's a progressive thing. But I'm getting a bit crazy. We got everybody. We're obviously at Carnival, and we must be on the same level because we're all here chilling. So, see, where are you guys having different seasons too? Like, because I think currently over here we're in the middle part basically of our regular outdoor grow season, which usually starts around September, October, springtime, and then the solstice of end of December is usually before then you want to get your seeds in and already sprouting, finishing up around Easter, April time. But I'm pretty sure from what I've heard of most people on the east coast of Australia, things aren't like they would regularly be. It's a little bit, it's just not as extreme. Or the weather's just not the same, so the conditions are not adequate for expected growth. Like, it could slightly be changing and be more of an extended season. Things are coming later. But also over in Australia, we do have, like I'm sure sunny parts of every country would, you have the ability to grow all year round. So they can't take right down south, but the most of the places, the tropical places around here, even the size of the plant might be slightly smaller during the supposed winter months, but there's enough sunlight, and they might flower early. But anyway, where we at? Well, I'll probably stick around for another 10 minutes or so. I do really appreciate everybody hanging around. I'm just flowing off the top of the head here with some impromptu conversation. But I do appreciate you all. If you're, whatever you're doing, watching and listening, or just doing your day and listening, feel free to drop any comment or something to suggest any topic you want me to talk about or bring up. Have a look at it on YouTube. I'll be more than happy to. But in the meantime, I'll continue and look at the Canna Reviews, which is it's like a forum website kind of thing where for the Australian Medical Cannabis Program and all the products and the doctors. So yeah, this is Indie Med. So executives here saying like, you got those, you usually $100 5 ounces. This is the real cheapest one, and most of the other ones are like $135 to $160. Top price being $230 for 10 grams. So they're talking, if you to buy an ounce of that, it's like $600 nearly. Most of them being $400 an ounce, and they're at 15. So that makes it incredibly expensive, and compared to the black market prices, that's incredibly expensive to the majority of it. Whereas the quality is there and consistency is there, but as I said previously, it's you can find better on the black market if you know an educated grower like, or somebody who has concern about the product and passionate about making a good flower. Which I feel, and there's another thing, hopefully that if you just consistently talk about it and spread the culture and try and break these stigmas of the people who don't engage in it, that think it's all criminal and murderous and will send you crazy, and it's all extravagant money and all these things, like they need to be broken down, and just people with the what's the word, like the righteous like heart and culture about it, who want to grow the plant and have appreciation and respect for the plant in itself and all of the benefits that it brings, but to also try and bring about the most pristine and high grade flower to its highest potential out every time and grow that every time. And if these, and if everybody just has that in their mind, and that's just the way that is, and not everybody has to do it, but just to accept that and allow people to do that. When you see somebody in their backyard planting and nurturing a plant, don't think that they're criminal or run and call the police or the whoever, whatever it is, or even try and rip their plant or whatever. Just if everyone is allowed to do these things and grow, then the culture would change, and like that would flood and flourish. As opposed to, you will still have obviously the good and bad in everything, but to see the production weed, and because that's another part where a lot of people who don't engage in the culture, and they see that sort of stuff with the, people make criminal, like organized elements making cannabis, which isn't at its highest potential, and they just make something for weight and for look to get a certain income about it. That would be was weaned out, and try to be due to the fact of the ability that and the common senseness of the broken down stigma that growing cannabis is not in any way a criminal thing, or is it harmful? Isn't actually, it's a benefit to everybody, and it's also the natural, then and as I was talking about before, the birthright to be able to take seeds which have fallen from a tree and then work the soil to then, and you're tending to that. This is our human ability and our right, exactly, to do that, to keep it on that natural tip. And and that's really sincerely something that I do, and I do that. I do, I'm trying to be the change that I want to see in the world, in the sense of, and I really want to try and work harder towards that, and be dedicated and professional in the sense now, with planned and documented ways. But I'm very open about the cannabis, in the sense of, I'll go outside and I'm not going to smoke in your face, but I'm doing what I'm doing, and if I feel like smoking and I'm walking, I'm going to smoke. And it is against the law to be doing so, even though I'm a medical patient. But I do it in the sense to show there is no harm. It's just and to break down the stigmas. I do get looks at it from a lot of people. Sometimes it's appreciative, sometimes it's not. And but and these are just little things. I'm not saying I'm making doing anything dramatic, but these little things, if everybody had the do so, slowly these little barriers will get broken down, because the people that don't engage in it will recognize it's not so harmful, and it's not what the media breaks it up to be, in the sense of reefer madness and the criminal element to it all. It exists, but that exists in everything and anything, right? So, and it is definitely not the majority. Most people, like most people, the peace-loving people who just want to exist. You have the fair, but that's life, bro, isn't it? It's a sad part of it. Where are we at? Oh, we've hit the 2 hours by. What happened to Gear? Gear's been around, bro. he was actually on in somebody's live and someone's chat yesterday, day before yesterday. Oh shit, he's just probably been a bit busy or something like that. Where he's at, he'll definitely be going live soon again. Oh no, I missed your comment here. It's not very good. Yeah, like, I mean, but see, and then that's another part of my kind of thoughts and hopes for complete, like, what's the word, like, deregulation, you know, and just allowing like people to do what it is and have no like laws or regulations about it. You can just grow things like a vegetable, right? So if for people to think, oh, it's going to bring about all the bad people, the criminal to take over, that'll exist, but in the ability for people to just grow and have a good product there available, that is going to come out on top, and that is going to again wean out the illegitimate or the lower grade product, or people ripping people off. That's going to wear it out of the scene, because the availability and access is going to be there for that high grade, and the people who wishing to do the right thing and grow high grade in abundance and make it available for people at a decent price, or a price everyone's happy with, to have happy return customer base, and to be supporting themselves. So shit is so the deregulation, if that was to happen, people would just flood to that, and then in no sense of doubt that the characters who are established in that sense, they would be able to create and run organized network type of things for the general public to come and consume, and they would be doing it in a righteous way. And then we'll see that the element of people thinking, oh, the bad production weed are going to take over, the criminal and will just strong arm, and that they won't. That it'll exist, and people who are really aware, and I guess you're unfortunate, wrong place, wrong time, maybe, or unaware, they get caught, and they will get. But the fact that the availability of the other stuff is so much broader, the chances of them slipping into that net would still be minimal, and will get smaller and smaller. So that's something I definitely, because you would have people who aren't as appreciative of the fact, that you got to put in effort, and you're wanting to just make a pristine product first and foremost, and then think about the rest of it, rather than, there's thoughts of, oh, this is a cash crop. Let's just get it to a certain state where, it looks like a flower, it looks like it could be sold, and it's ready. And let's just get it out and get it done. And that's it's always going to be part of it, I guess. But and we are very far behind in Australia, and in no way does it look like things are going to turn to recreational, or the ability for the medical patch to grow. It just seems as though our access and availability comes through paying for monthly doctor appointments just to get a script, and then we need to pay for the product and postage. Yeah. Wow, cool. In America, alcohol became in America, alcohol became the choice, and this is the weeds. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, I appreciate that fact, and that's also something I'm slightly hesitant of in a way that I see now, and I have an intuitive feeling that I foresee it happening of the as opposed to like cannabis culture of what we knew or what my generation know of and previous generation of the like and prior to that being the the 60s and 70s, the hippie generation, right? And so that the free love to plant this and this, that culture about in more relation to birthright seed, cultivating the land that we all have. Now, children who didn't see that at all and will only find that on the internet or an encyclopedia or something, they see cannabis as now like a packaged product on a shelf, like that looks like it's in some sort of candy or lolly wrapping, and that's what cannabis is. Instead of the sense of, you could take a seed and you cultivate a plant, it takes a few months or whatever, but you do it, you garden it, you make it, you can do that. That's your birthright. Instead, their first thought would be, cannabis is this thing. You go to the dispensary and you buy it in a packet for an eighth and you go home. As the same way you're talking about alcohol slowly became more acceptable and then brands got into it and you now buy bottles of alcohol, and it's just mass production but all branded and shit. Like, what's going on? What's going on? I got a compliment. Peace, brother. I appreciate it. I'll probably shut it down pretty soon too. But I'd really appreciate everybody, and I do hope that audio stuff is coming through clear and information is relevant, and it's something that you guys can do appreciate. And I definitely will try and work on it. Thing. Feel free to let me. Whoa, damn, son! Where'd you find that? How do I do it? This is for the I don't know how I can see if this will work. I could send it. We just got some photos here from executive sessions in the California region. Where is it? Solo. Doesn't look good, does it? Wait. Oh, there you go. Oh, fuck. I don't want to see the text. Hang on. I'll just see if it comes up. Or I can. Yeah, that will be right. Ooh, look at that. And that's not even giving it justice because that's through a second camera. Alright. Polo Slim. I'll send it to myself, and on the next stream I'll be able to have it as a it's like an actual. This is for people that actually don't have the availability, like we're in a country, so over in somewhere where you are able to do all this stuff and engage in cannabis business. This is nice. We just saw the Polo Slim there. I'll bring up the photos in a second. White truffle, obviously $80 maybe for a half, $120 for the full. No, that can't be right. Is that right? $60 for a half ounce. $100 for an ounce. Is that right? And for the runts, $40 for an eighth. No, $70 for a quarter. I'm not sure. I'm a bit intrigued here now. And you even got some psilocybin. Nice. Diamonds, $10 a gram. For wax. Wow, man. Those price points are just insane. And here we go. notice that white truffle. But once again, that is not doing the picture justice. Alright, so that was half Oz prices. Holy moly, bear. Wow. Maybe, hopefully, in a few years, we can get to things like that, get it to like that. Yeah, that's it. This truffle would probably be something comparative to that topaz, which is these, very highly sought. Not sought of, but everybody likes them, right? On this medical program, and that's kind of coming at close to $400 an ounce, if not more, for some people. And you could get this truffle stuff. Not truffle stuff. You get this beautiful truffle here for like 120 an ounce or $100 an ounce, I think it was. So what was the go with the runts? Runts was $70 an ounce. I thought runts was like a real, yeah. Oh, white runts. Here we go. You gave me thing, and they got diamonds. Diamonds for $10 a gram. Oh my goodness. Look beautiful too. Look how they look very clear. I mean, not crystal clear, but they look blonde. You could have it more gold or amber than that. Oh, and there's another one. Hey. Once again, that's not doing the thing justice. You can't see it because it's coming through another camera. That was moon rocks. Whoa, bro. So white run. Oh, the white runs is so that's the lowest one, right? Is that kind of like the root words? Right ones? Because it does look, that picture, even from mine, it looks kind of scrappy too. Looks alright. They all look very dense, like they're considering something like the topaz over here. I don't have a picture of the topaz though. Whoa. Look at these ones, man. Wait. This is an old picture. Sour D. Beautiful, man. Props to you. Props to you for all the work you do. Just doing the work, man. Because, that's what you're doing. You're supporting the community by supplying quality flower and sourcing good flowers, and then, doing what you do with that, to make your living. It's fucking beautiful, bro. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh, white runs is the only outdoor. And wow. So how would you say, because that price, $70 for an ounce, that's brilliant. And if the quality of the smoke is still not good, when people say, "Oh, it's outdoor," I don't say, "Oh, that's bad," at all. I found some sun-grown to be one of the best flowers I've ever smoked in my life. And consistently, there's an area, and in general, yes, but there's an area which I know people, who that's what they do as a career, and and it's acreages of sun-grown, but such good quality, it's amazing. Most people who don't really know where it is from, they'll be like, "Oh, that's nowhere near as that outdoor. No way." Because over here, a lot of people, when they think outdoor, they think bush and very airy, kind of not dense buds and not potent. Whereas this is dense and covered in trikes and fat calyxes. And it's wow. But yeah, sun-grown can be beautiful. $70 US, yeah. So that's still what, 100 Aussie, 110 Aussie. Yeah, okay. I don't know. What are we at? We're about 70 cents, right? So 100, might be about 130. Oh, what? 75 US is now 110 Aussie. Okay. Yeah, all right. But I mean, shit, 110 on it. Then so what's 110? So that $100 one would be about 150. All right. So kind of similar, but I'll give you guys the gigs on this one. Oh shit. It smells so good. I got it in jar. I'm going through it so quickly. That's fucking. But it's Black Domina. Black Domina. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But like, and even that, like when you look at it, looking at this flower, Black Domina. Oh man, there's no light in here. Eh? I need to come. Oh, I can use the phone maybe. Like you look at it and you're like, oh, that doesn't look so crash hot, like, but it actually is. It's just so resinous. And where's the light got to come from? I mean, it'd be helpful if the thing was in the camera. Focus it. There you go. Look right. It's really good. Sweet gas. Covered in, it's really sticky. But then, yeah, because you look at it and you're like, it's a bit messy. It's got a lot of pistols over it. And I think it's actually really strong indica. Not strong indica, a pleasant indica. I guess it's definitely an indica which hits you in the sense of, couch look, whatnot, but doesn't knock you out. Or, but it's a pleasant smoke because that's sweet. Hope everybody does try it. So what do you got? Oh, you're talking about the shark bite. Yeah. But see, and even that, like, it would be like, oh, I don't know. I'm thinking comparative though too, like that price point, like saying $100, $70 US, but I'd equate it to our market, like, because you earn over there, and that's just the price point. So it would be like buying an Oz for over here for $100 in our market on our point. Not buying that flower over there for $100. It's just wanting that rate over here. Bing, bing. And even if you buy bulk, like, people that are getting pretty extreme bulk, it's not like, for quality, you're not paying anything under like 125, and that's when you're buying like extreme bulk. That's in my experience. Like for low grade, you could find you could find $100 ounces for sure in a pack. It doesn't have to be extreme bulk, just like an elbow. That's for full production. So that's around here. That does what happened. That is, and you could get 10 packs for like similar thing, Obviously that's if you know somebody, but regularly, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's a business, eh? It's just a sad state of affairs over here to see where we're at. And I guess it's just keep continuing as a, persistent and as an example, you are a living example of the law. Change. Oh, look at this, bro. It just smells so good in the calyx. Is it just? Ugh. Chop this up. Appreciate everybody, man. Totally appreciate everybody hanging around. And I'd appreciate everybody if you choose. I mean, I don't know, any way you think I could make the channel better. Let me know. If you know people that are into advocating for cannabis, let them know to come and watch the show. I haven't been very serious about growing this channel, but I should be. But also at the same time, it'll just come at if you do the work, you reap what you sow. Give me 1 second. I need to just go grab something to help you. Apple juice and water. Apple juice and water. Apple juice and water. And some ice. Cold, man. Make it cold, man. Pretty warm over here at the moment. Like real humid kind of evening, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning over here. That's cool enough. I can't believe everybody's still hanging around, man. I appreciate it. It's just some water. What do you got to say there, Cloudy? What are you saying, Cloudy? Beetroots. That's all they're going to Shark Attack. Then it sells for $310 US. Is this true? Wait, I think executive, if you're still in the house, some answering some shark bite going for $310 US. See, then I guess we will have our Cali import price. Supposed Cali import price of the Cali flowers over here. It's something ridiculous, like $100 to $150 for an eighth. I think. I don't even know how much if we could get an ounce and how much it would be. Although I've heard one fella, I don't know if I believe him though. I don't know. I think he maybe just has the genetics and he does it here, but he says it's import, and he says he gets it for for close to 500 an ounce, which I don't know. I think he's just saying that. But yeah. Oh, for sure, bro. Absolutely. I mean, and that's what I'm talking about. If he got the genetics, he does it indoor, but because we have such a great environment here too, and not even that. There's if you heard, I'm not too well researched in it, but it is something I should be, and but it's can never be taken away because it's from the pioneers of the culture who were there when Amsterdam was coming up globally and things like. So there's his name, I think, is Shanti Baba, well known as Shanti Baba, and then another gentleman named Neville. So I think both of their first name, one was Scott, the other one was Neville. I'm not sure their surnames off the top of my head, but they were very, very crucial in with some main genetic. I think did they create? One of them created White Widow, maybe. something like that with really, really, a world-renowned strain. He was the creator of, or he had a major hand in it. But then also they were connected to the inverted commas king of cannabis, that Aryan or Arjun, I think it's Aryan. Yeah, like, and they kind of had gripe because Aryan was more about commercial, economic perspective of the plant and broadening it out that way, whereas these other guys are more about the plant, genetics, high grade product, and the actual culture, I think. So, to say, yeah, definitely Australia has that's something that's really hit home and surprised me in the past week or so, because to think that two Australians were critical in decades ago when it was taboo worldwide, but they were up in the forefront of it, and then still today we have a really taboo society, but there were those Australians decades ago who were the ones, not to say, just to be part of it, and a certain particular strains, because cannabis is a huge thing and there's numerous people, but that's a beautiful thing. Something I should probably research a little bit more. And another huge part is to know that some people in this community who come in the chat knew these people personally. That's great. 460 for the 310. Yeah. Cloudy's got his calculator out. He likes his Forex. He's doing his trade deals. Buy it and sell it, mate. Just jabbing. Maybe we should go for 5 hours again. Could do another 5 hours stream. It seems you could do another 5 hours stream. It seems because like nobody's there and everyone's listening a little bit. You see, don't seem to a bar and everyone's going to sleep. Papa people. People to papas. People to papa papers. You could. Somebody pass me the papers. Would you somebody pass me the papers? could somebody pass me the papers? I need to put a bit of cannabis in this, probably. Put a bit of cannabis in this. Put a bit of cannabis in this. The Irish pothead. Somebody pass me the papers. Patrick, would you stop playing with the fucking playing on potty on the bong and pass me the papers? Oh, fuck. I'll have to listen back to that. See, does it actually sound authentic, or does it sound just stupid? It sounds alright in my head. Oh, man. Yeah, I've had mates that, I've been to the dam. I've been to the dam too. But he said, I've had mates that have gone into the dam. Other mate who moved to Humboldt. Wow, he still reckons to this day Oz had better growers if he, yeah, exactly. So they all reckon they had, wow, bro. I guess because we've got the conditions and the people that are out there doing it, right? And but in regards to going to Amsterdam, I've said this previously, but some people might have heard it. This was years ago in like 2008. Yeah, 2008. We was there and was just there for a couple of days, and basically I got to try 4 strains over there. I tried White Widow from is Bush Rangers or someplace like that. I think it was called Bush Ranger. It was pretty. It wasn't so bright. It was all right. White Widow. I can't remember the price off the top of my head. I think it may have been at €10 or something, €11. It was pretty good, pretty decent. Definitely it was all right. It wasn't crap at all. But then we went to Bluebird which is, I think I didn't know at the time, but it's it's pretty well renowned. It looked really, it looked right. Anyway, I walked in there trying their base level flower, which was skunk, their base skunk. That was like the first thing you saw, and that was nearly $6, €6, sorry, which was probably about $8, maybe $10. I think it was maybe close to something like that. It wasn't quite double, but it wasn't yet. And then AK-47 and Super Silver Haze. And the Super Silver Haze and AK-47, the designer strains were like 13, 15 euros, so more like 20 a gram. But they were right. I had way more of a decent hit and flavor and experience from the base skunk, which was only like, €5, €6. And to the point you're saying about the Australian farmers, like to what I was saying before, that flower, which is sun grown in Australia, which people who don't really know think it's indoor, compares and, is definitely comparable, would be, depending on who you're talking to, like it's with all of that quality. So it's, and the fellow that grows it, like he's like, to quote him, he's like, yeah, I'd take that Pepsi challenge with that Amsterdam any day of the week. Like, so he's confident enough. Yeah, he's been over there too. He's been to Jamaica, and it's not only one person; it's a whole group of this. It's a community. There's a space. There's a community. And it's not the only one in Australia. I'm sure there's many, but these guys do it really well, and they're pretty well renowned in that area. But yeah, so the fact that he's been to Amsterdam, he's been to Jamaica, but he didn't get, supposedly he went to Jamaica. Although there would probably be others who would have gone to gain the knowledge and shit, but when he was there, he didn't get allowed into the country. He got there on a plane, but customs didn't let him pass for some reason. But yeah, so he deep respect, deep knowledge about it all. But unfortunately, also, to be honest about it, like, it is quite sad. There's a big community down there, and he was involved in that. And it was, it's how they make income, and it's quite decent income. It's hard work, though. He says it's very the amount you got to do, where you got to climb hills, do all this, that. Chop it down, bring it back, and do all. Anyway, you don't do it all. There's people doing stuff, but yeah. Anyway, just sad to say that from a life of that beauty, I realize that now is such great beauty, connection within a community that's very attached to nature, like it's surrounded in nature and very much part of it. Yeah, he's now, he moved to a career of like chemicals, basically distribution, production, all sorts, bro. Like, so he was quite significant, and what's the word? Like, he had a deep intelligence and ability to adapt and to work whatever he put his mind to, really. Yeah, so putting it into plants, massive scale, massive quality, same way. Unfortunately, like, it's just gone double the income, and we're talking, quite a, it's not major, but it's enough of like 6 figures, a heavy 6 figures, annually, right? And and from that to doubling it within the chemical thing, but then to see his kind of lifestyle and things like that, I still stay in touch, right? And speak, but even that last time we spoke, I could even feel a huge, because it's been a while since we actually spoke. I was probably seeing him a couple of years, haven't been to Brisbane in a while, but it was like, and I find it with friends here now too. But because of that factor I talked about yesterday, and over the past years, I'm trying to get to a point where I'm engaging wholly and fully in the sense of, there is no, it's all trying to must be honesty and no activeness within the kind of former criminal element. I'm all, I'm connect, respect of everything and all righteous, like all honest things. But try and move in that, in a way where I'm pushing forward for the status of this current illegal product, but I'm not engaging in the activity because you would be putting yourself at risk, right? And that's just kind of where I'm coming from now, and I really do hope to keep pushing on the notion. But anyway, so on that kind of point, like these people are still very much active in, and so and I would be similarly the same. I wouldn't want to engage. I'd never engage in any sort of social media. I didn't engage in any bullshit chit chat at all. It was, because things aren't, you don't have time for that shit. So yeah, last time we last spoke to him, it was like, wow, you could feel there was like a distancing, but because yeah, he's still fully into that chemical world, and yeah, the ganja is just so much better. The ganja, the ganja. Thanks everybody for hanging around. I've been wanting to go get some ice cubes, so give me a minute and discuss amongst yourselves in the chat. I'll be back within 2 chops of a cannabis bud. Hey everybody. Wow. I can't believe everybody's still hanging around there. It's amazing. It's amazing what the internet will do now these days, isn't it? And what is considered entertainment. Oops, excuse me, sorry, I hope that's not too loud. I hope everybody is chilling and what do you call it? Got a drink for yourselves. Got a beverage. Got something to snack on, or had a meal. I'll just got some juice. And I'll put some ice in it. Yeah. It's called Charlie's Apple Juice. Charlie's Apple Juice. Charlie's Apple Juice. And some water and ice. Water on ice. Alright, back to the questions. So do all 4 Australians follow various sports or just rugby? Well, that would have to be a personal question, but I think a fair few Australians follow American sports. I don't know about baseball. Probably people would follow. They'd follow basketball and NFL the most, I'd say. But we'd probably follow the football codes over here first. Excuse me. Personally, I love rugby. Being from like parents from Fiji, Fiji being like what would you say? Like just like what would you call them? They're just one of the best, man. They're the current world champions, current Olympic champions 2 times in a row. Unfortunately, they just lost I'm talking about sevens rugby union. They just lost their third HS. It would have been 3 in a row. They got to the final and they didn't win. So that's the top. But they're really, really good at rugby union sevens. So I'll follow that. That's that for that. I don't know. It's 3 o'clock, man. Well, I've been gone for ages, but once again, I'm just talking to myself, which is cool. Like I I appreciate it. I'm just a bit what's the word? Dumbfounded in the fact that actual people would continue to listen to it, like because. And I'm really grateful for that. I just would think, oh shit, people would be like, this guy's fucking boring, man. What is he talking about? But hopefully, it's not that. And I'm coming with some relevant topics. I can't find the lighter for the second. Yeah, it's pretty important if you want to consume cannabis through a joint or a bong. You need some fire. Oh, 1240. Oh wow, there's even another one. And you're on that side of the bloody continent. I thought you were down near the snazzy, man. I thought you were going down with the snazzy. You're in that area. Nah, mate. I was thinking about this, and there's some cool people over there in this community that I'd legitimately like to, because I've never been there. And everybody says it's like a totally different place to the rest of the country. So, yeah, definitely keen to go and get in touch with everybody, possibly, yeah, who's over there. Same way, I'm going back to Brisbane, most likely for a few days of Christmas. So, anybody in the Brisbane area that's on this chat, do get in touch. It'd be cool enough. Like, I'm not going to have, like, it's nothing huge, but I'll probably be going back again too, like, pretty soon, but I'm just going to go for Christmas. Because there's a few people in Brisbane too, and that's where I was born. I grew up there. Cheers, everybody. Bit of Black Domino, medicating, and what is it? So do all Australians beef with England or just white Australians? How do non? What? I think. Okay. We'd probably say like beef as something you eat. It's like it's a steak, whereas as it is in regard to thinking about let's have some altercations. There is rivalry and shit, but nobody takes it that because there's a cricket. There's something called the Ashes. So between England and Australia, it's a big rivalry of sporting. But anyway, he's got his 10th planet. 10th planet. Actually, I'll have a look at that in a second. Oh, people are leaving. Cheers, Dave. We still got a few people in here. I wonder, was that Underbelly? Underbelly. Yeah, that's based on a true story. The guy that in the first Underbelly, about Carl Williams, the fellow who played Carl Williams, he was like a friend of mine's bigger brother, and so I knew him, like Guyton Grantley. Met him quite a few times actually. That was when I was doing my things in the market, and actually, he came to Perth as a customer quite a few times. Well, not quite like a few times, but anyway, that's not much. So yeah, that's pretty real. That's about the Melbourne thing, and oh no, that was not the first one, was it? The Ganjitano was the first one. That fella had a crazy story about that too. I've said it once on here, like I said, it was at a nightclub in Brisbane, and just randomly took beers. It's weird, like. Anyway, so we're at this pretty prominent nightclub called The Beat in Brisbane. It's like a really, it's got upstairs. It's got a gay section. It's got 3 different rooms. There's like really, prominent kind of dance club. A lot of people take pills and stuff and go there, and a lot of really heavy dance. Anyway, big in that scene. Anyway, and I don't know what was. One night, I don't know what the fuck. I ended up upstairs and was talking to this girl, and like she was talking to the owner who was standing at the stairs and shit. But anyway, ordered a drink for me and her after talking to her for about 5 minutes, and the bartender gave me back like $7 or something in change, back in 5-cent pieces, all 5-cent pieces, and so it's a huge, like, it's too many, man. I don't know what the fuck. So I just like threw that back. Anyway, went home with her. Turns out that she was like that Ganjitano fella. She was like Rent-A-Kill's daughter. This guy called Christopher Flannery. He's in basically the series, but he plays a little bit of a character in it, and so that was the father. And she said he was there, but not all the time. And so the father figure was that Ganjitano fella character. It was just crazy. I mean, I don't know why I'm mentioning him, because you said Underbelly and shit, but like, yeah, she said all this stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? And I went to the internet the next day and just looked it up, and everything she said just was like true. And I'm like, whoa, holy moly. If you're out there, Christine, peace. I didn't do it. Where is it? We'll go here, and we'll go. I saw that movie too, Emancipation. Have you guys seen that one yet? The new Will Smith one? I just watched it, and it's about that, I don't know, that famous picture of Peter. More 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. We want this. Interesting movie. It was a cool movie. Really some dramatic parts in there, and there was obviously so many other people experienced that too. All those really harsh things, and just want to know how true that was. Here we go. We've got another one here. 10th Planet Strain. I've never heard of it, and but fortunately, somebody in the chat is partaking in this. Looks beautiful, bro. It looks like. Okay, no, they all do have it. So it depends how they come out. You can have that purple black tinge on the sugar leaf if it comes out, but then the orangeness and the green. is dominant. So that was that. Now, what is the review on it? So, 10th planet, aka 10th planet, also known as 10th planet, is a hybrid marijuana strain made by crossing Planet of the Grapes, wow, and Pluto cut of Quattro Kush. This is sativa indica dominant 60-40. Wow, it smells Planet of the Grapes. Yum. What do you reckon of it, Gladdy? It's really nice. Well, I suppose you wouldn't be smoking it and telling us about it, would you? And you said it made you go to sleep. Or like, hit you nicely. So the terps are really heavy as well, I guess. I would imagine it being Planet of the Grapes and it's only 20%, but strong. Oh, fuck. I didn't even... What am I doing? Oh. Sorry, everybody. I'm talking about this nonsense and going, oh, wow. And I didn't even show you. So, replay. Just a little bit of a replay. I was looking at this before. These are the pictures of the 10th planet. So I was thinking, like, you can get the purple or black sugar leaf on it if the temperatures and growth is right. But the more dominant color is that the green calyx and the orange pistils. This one here looks right. Oh, that's Planet of the Grapes weed. 10th planet. So that's what I was looking at there. And then I started looking at this. Talking about the indica dominant and its lineage. You guys can see that, right? Yeah, cool. Executive main. Wow, cool. That's one you get. I need to talk to you. Wow. Fuck yeah, bro. High grade. Man, it's crazy, dude, eh? The amount of people that like smoke cannabis and obviously want the best stuff and just but don't realize how it's created, what's required to create it and how much time it takes, the attention people put into it and the whole calmness about it. Like, it's just strange. Like, this is what I'm talking about, my environment and shit, a little bit. It's like, people are just like, they're so hectic and caught up in like just, I don't know, trying to play a part about something or something, which really they're not. Like, we've got it pretty chill in Australia. It's like nothing. It's nothing too crazy crash on it. I mean, there's obviously there's things going on, but it's very relaxed over here. And I'm sure it is everywhere because that's nobody wants problems or hectic shit. If you're in a business, you want smooth business. You just no problems. You want the shit to just be like a normal day, go through. How you go? See you later. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, but anyway, I'm just seeing all these others, and then, but they all want to smoke because they're smoking loud as well. But they don't appreciate the flower. They got no idea about it. That's something I've come to like a bit of a realization, understanding, and it's a bit unfortunate in the sense that I didn't get my life together, I guess. I'm not saying that I regret what I did and I'll take it all back or whatever, but I definitely got to reflect on it, and but to think I didn't gain my own property out of it, It's, you know, because anyway, I see some friends now that, you know, they've kind of achieved it. I just didn't see it. I took a lot for granted when I was younger and stuff, but fortunately now I'm gaining a bit of maturity and realizing a little bit, you know, maybe what's it about, what's life, or not what life's about, but just being mature enough to realize, you know, to support yourself in a realistic sense. And anyway, so yeah, to you know, because if I had the own property, I'd have no real qualms about planting in the yard. And but prior to that, I didn't think about it. I was fucking thinking, oh, I'll go float products around the place and run around and do all that. But and then that got me into chemical culture. So, you know, I would be much more content, and you know, if it would have been the case of me finding this a lot earlier and just really engaging with that connection from a teenager, you know, from a late teenager, early 20s, you know, thinking about that, you might not have, it would have, anyway, shit. I'm here now, and that's what I see, actually, and I really have the hopes of, and I sincerely do, being now mid-30s and wanting to really, it's only, I'm just it's been this like second year and paying full attention into trying to nurse plants up and things and just get your own good high grade and what it's all about. I've always loved the plant for more than 20 years and been smoking daily, but, you know, and looking high grade, but not understanding where it came from. You know, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So shit, if I can move in the next 10 years to say 20 years, as I said prior, I hope if I did it when I was like 20, I nearly would have been there now or 10 years I would have been there, and then you know, it would have been, but anyway, we can't live past that. So, but I'm really happy and focused on that point to be like 40, 50, but really established and founded with knowledge and process in growing, and being about not just growing for the sake of growing for quality, and you know, finding the most pristine elements and what's easy and what's balanced and what's good. Yeah, sincerely do, because that's and in a no nonsense like form too, the same way I've, you know, been saying, like, and just talk about it, be about it, and try and, you know, put in effort to work towards things. Nothing just falls in your lap. You know, you got to put in something to get out and cooperate and sacrifice, I guess. So yeah, because currently, you know, I'm not there yet, but I sincerely do hope for that, because that's something beautiful that I really connect with. That music, and that's something which has brought me back to a sense of and the naturality and my actuality and the reality, man, you know, and my connection to family too. Shit that I've done in life and I took for granted. It's taken time, but unfortunate enough, it's got to that point too. A lot of people don't get to that point. They get caught up in chemical drugs and they run through that, or it runs through them for their whole life, shatters their family, their extended family, and shatters them most of the time too. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the vision or strength to get out of that cycle, which is, you know, fair enough, because it's a very difficult thing to do. It's not easy. And nobody wants to be in that state. Unfortunately, a lot of people lose their life, you know, to that. So I'm grateful I come out on the other side with still a sense of wanting and balance and you know, confidence type thing, intelligence really, or and just sense of connection and and my potential. I guess this was me, and then it got clouded. But anyway, I'm ranting a little bit, but it's the truth. It was it was nearly a decade. So, and then prior to that, so whippity, I love cannabis, man. Free the yarndi, yeah, I got to free the yarndi. Ooh, yum. Where'd you get that one? Ooh. I want to try all these Cali ones. I want someone to fucking, get someone to send someone this way. You got to free the yarndi. Nah, of course you do. I never, like to get maybe just to try cookies too, just to see what it's like. Because I'm sure at the same time the homegrown guy is going with the genetics and the intention is going to do a better job or more potent, more pristine flower. But also to the point of our medical program, I got a message from one of the prescribers earlier this year. Oh, this is due January and February. Giving me links and pictures to a place because extracts were supposed to be coming and available. There was diamonds that were supposed to be available by June, July, and they didn't come. And it's still not here. I asked her about it in October, and she said, "Oh, they're not here. There was a hold up with customs or something." And so there's issues with so many products getting here. But also, the cookies range, official cookies was coming. And it didn't. That was supposed to be January, February. We were supposed to be getting it by June. But no, we didn't get them. Yeah, see, I could just do that too. It's obvious, but I should look into the and now we can, right? Like, because past few years we know I've been traveling anyway, but because Thailand has like legalized fully, I would really think about going there because it's not very far away and to go see that. But obviously, if I can get to California myself, well, fuck, it would be amazing. It wouldn't be too much, and that's right. If I knew somebody and I could go there and like obviously get support and stay with somebody, it would save a lot of money and accommodation and things like that. And also to know somebody too, it would help you because once you get there and land it and you're trying to find options yourself, as with anything, it's better to have a local to show you around, give you a bit of a head start. Fuck yeah, bro, keep that in mind. Fuck no, I don't want to live in Thailand. I just want to go and check out the culture for like, few days because it's legalized now. Just to go check out what it's like, Is watching those documentaries, you see the flowers are supposed to be, just the same as high-grade exotics in anywhere, America or whatever. Australia's the best country. I mean, of course, man. There's good and bad everywhere, honestly. The Earth is a beautiful place. Like, and I mean that. Like, we hear gripes about, this country's fucking politics and this and that. But no. Every place has got a beautiful place. If you went there, you could put your head down at night when you got tired and rest and, take a drink from the river and wake up to the sun and, and think it's a beautiful place anywhere you go. So, yeah, the world is fucking. It's just a fucking politics and system in it. It's a bit. Oh, the reclining. Is that the big Buddha that's like the really big one? It's one of the biggest in the world, the statues, and he's lying on his side. Anyway. I've got 3 hours, mate. Oh, what about it's a strain. I'm thinking about that massive. Is that what you just said there too? Like, oh, what a sick guy. Would your son take? He would probably want to smoke, or maybe he would smoke weed once in a while to relax. But CBD wouldn't be bad for him. It would probably be good for him. What are we going? What is it? Reclining Buddha. I'm thinking of this like huge gold Buddha. It's like one of the biggest in the world or something. And he's like on the side, but anyway, what is it called? Reclining Buddha. Okay, there's that one in Bangkok. Right, we're talking about cannabis, not Cambodia. Reclining Buddha. Ooh, it is a strain there, buddy. Reclining Buddha is an indica cannabis strain that produces a scent and flavor that's a mix between citrus and skunk. Some claim its scent is similar to cherries. The parent strains of Reclining Buddha are a cross between the two indicas, Super Skunk and Holland's Hope. Wow. It first blossomed under the care of Soma Seeds. Very reputable place, I think. Here's a couple of pictures. Reclining Buddha. 80-20 indica dominant, it said. This is the one I'm talking about. This is statue. See the Buddha? He's on his side. It's like a big. Oh wait, there's two or three maybe. I'm thinking of this gold one. There's a gold one. Oh, is that a photo? What is this? Yeah, the other one's incomplete. It's like a gold or copper or whatever. Man, cannabis is so beautiful, bro. Ganja is the best. I definitely, variety is amazing too. You don't just want one good strain. You need all the different varied elements and characteristics at different times for the best experience, for sure. And at the same time, it's the same to everybody. So you need to find what you prefer. And then go with that, and obviously tolerance kicks in. So the variety, different times, different things, different times of year. I'm sure different flowers for different people. So that's why the freedom of the plant, bro. What is this shit, dude? You can't talk about it, you can't live about it, you can't be it because you're risking prosecution, going to and for the stupidest, simplest, just what's the word? Childish thing, really. Childish, that's the word, because maturely, realistically, we all understand it's not harmful, it's a flower, it's a plant. Then you've got adults who are supposedly qualified for this job, and they have a sense of authority, and they're implementing like these addiction in such a like and a broad like on the broader sense of the spectrum that will include things like armed robbery, murder, rape, theft, you know, chemical narcotics, like domestic violence, all this, and even traffic tickets, right? From all that range, but they're coming to muckle you around. Like I'm saying, why can't we do that? I'm sitting in my room. Why can't we like, talk about it, be free about it, be about it? Because the risk is you'd have an interruption from these people, like from human beings on that childish sense, like supposed to be mature, but they'll come to, you know, and when they talk to you, they might be sarcastic, like, yeah, let's see this. It's not mature in anything of a sense, but even if it was just they were there to do what they do, they've got to give you a ticket, and that's in this state. If you're in another state, you're there and you go have a magistrate appearance. So that's court fees, lawyer time. There's over here, fortunately, if it's just flowers that they come to talk to you about, they'll take them and they'll give you a fine. But just that's annoying because, you know, for such as not for that act and not for that charge that needs to be removed. Other things I understand, like that armed robbery, the rape, the, you know, other chemical, and people selling to children or selling chemicals to children and even cannabis to children. I mean, that's no good at all. But, you know, fuck. Hey, you guys hear what I'm saying? And so, shit, as I said, complaining about this and just fucking yelling about it and going, oh, this has got to change, and expecting it to change and fall into my lap when I wake up tomorrow and think it's got to be different and I'm going to be able to go outside. And even if it was different, some miraculously changed, in no way could I take any sense of like, what's that word? You know, not ownership, but say that you had any input into this occurring. Like, you know, you did nothing about it. You were just talking about it in your head, yelling about it, and you went to sleep and you woke up and you changed. So fortunately for you, but that would be very, very, very kind of one in a million miracle, right? So it's about trying to plan and engage as much as possible to achieve that, you know, and realistically. So writing things down, organizing things, planning things, as opposed to the continual ranting. Because, you know, as I said, that's a prime example of the point. Like, you know, what could I do to try and bring about that change, which I would talk about. You know, it's not as easier said than done, but steps have got to be taken, because what would you expect? Like, what could you expect without putting in any effort? What's going on? Meet up for a second. Probability. So this will probably be, of course, bro. Curing is, since I've been on the medical, that's what's really, really, really opened up my eyes to the different characteristics, say like the sativa and the mind stimulation, creativeness, just awareness and awakeness, rather than the couch lock, body effect, like that. Because I never really saw that in the high grade like street stuff that I was getting. Occasionally you would get it, but it didn't really kick in, whereas this is so consistent. And then the flavors, right? This is what anytime I get something from, which is not street, it's about, man, if it's not cured, it's no good. I don't enjoy it. Like, it's, you know, and which means letting it dry for 10 days minimum, whatever. And then within that environment, too, obviously, there's a certain humidity and temperature for time. And, you know, letting it burp in the jars, if you do it in the jars, and, it's crucial and critical. I even find if I've got some flowers which are lacking in the terps, I'll try and put them in a glass jar with a humidifier and open them up for a few minutes every day. And after a week, hopefully, a few days, I might be able to tell the difference. But if I can let it sit for a week to 10 days, it won't come back to something mad prime, but it'll probably be what flavor was there will come back slowly. He's back. All right, so I'll blaze this one up. I keep going. It's been past 3 hours. Blaze this one up. Everybody else, if you're out there, you got one packed or you're blazing up or you're doing what you're doing. Cheers to you. CBD oil is the best. Yes, exactly. What's the pricing on that stuff over there for you guys? Like 30 ml bottle of, say, 100 milligram strength CBD oil. What would that cost you? Over here, it's quite expensive. I think that well, for the branded stuff and compounded stuff, because I remember the CBD oil, 115 milligram, it was like $220 for 30 mils, or maybe even more. It was pretty expensive. But it was effective, very effective, and I was taking it in a way of like, it said to titrate up or whatever, just take a little bit, take a little bit more, take a little bit more, and I was doing that, but I never wanted, and I wasn't taking it every day because I didn't want to get so used to it because it was that expensive. I didn't want it, so I was taking it a little bit, and then in another couple of days I take a little bit. Occasionally I'd take a larger dose. And I definitely was feeling benefit within the first couple of doses straight away. Like it was because it's the inflammation, supposedly the effect of inflammation, so my muscles, just a body relaxation, just a better feel about it. Rested, so well rested. Just woke up. I just felt so much, dude. And also the pain I do use it topically. Like I broke one of the knuckles like a couple of years, just not long ago, last year or the year before last, and I find that when it a little bit is sort of playing up and tensing up because it's still not, well, it's healed now, but like the tendons sometimes tighten up and stuff, and I'll rub some oil into that, and that's not even topical. Like it's it's not with something that's going to absorb sufficiently, but it works so well, so really quickly. But it's been interesting to know what you guys pay for it. Though. Like, is it just so expensive? Because in the same like training topic, it's you get oil which is like it's got both THC and CBD in it, and it's cheaper than something which is completely isolated. And that's the only reason why it makes me think it's more expensive, because it is completely isolated and they've had to refine it to the fullest extent rather than just extracting cannabinoids and dumping it into oil, and then figuring out the ratio or whatever. They've got to completely isolate the CBD, but I don't know. And we were just watching that before that about the Lambert, the grandchild, who was receiving great benefit from the oil that her grandparents make, Why is it so expensive? It's so simple. But yeah, I mean, shit, that's the other bit. You just got to get up and go and do it. Be smart about what you're doing. If you're going to do it running a risk, then you have to kind of be aware of that. Be prepared for that, but stay under the radar as much as possible. And unfortunately, for those people like the Lamberts or whatever, and that grandchild, they went on 60 Minutes to try and really amplify and change the stigma and promote a story, but at the same time, they were definitely similar to like everybody else in the sense of the grandchild's situation, but the fact they had that much finance to invest into a university, to help kind of makes them slightly different to everybody else, but it's just, yeah. But it was a simple fact of they just had to do it because they saw it work. And yeah, as the man was saying too, is like no law should be there to let a father or parents watch their child die. Is he supposed to abide by the government medical system that says, oh no, these are the options, this is what's right, take these pills, and don't touch this illegal product, when he can see there's immediate remedy, no side effect, as you would have from the anyway. It's just insane. You get pushback from the other side, a childish, immature way, and just for the sake of argument, because everybody would realize and recognize that point, because we're coming from, once again, no medical training and no medical qualification, but we can definitely recognize the benefit from our own experience, right? But for this epileptic, just response of instant calming and stopping the attack, it's just evident, and but yet and still you have these people who are qualified medically and have are spokespeople for these companies or whatever, and just even politicians or whatever that oppose it and say no, cannabis is illegal. The current legislation is the best and what we should be working with. That's just ridiculous and nonsense. So I guess that's forefront of what I'm getting at. If I'm hearing myself, which I'm not trying to just talk to myself, I'm talking out there. It's pretty much I should sit down and write notes about these sort of concepts and try and put it towards people who I think would head away, and even email these people myself directly, companies, politicians. But as I said yesterday, doing it as a solo person would just have that little bit less weight, companies might see it and then just read it from person and think okay, great, that's good, and then not too much about it and just put it to the side, and that's acceptable. They could say illegally, yep, we read it and we read it, and they could just write you something back like, thank you for your letter, and it doesn't go any further. But yeah, to hit on that point of like, the childish arguments just for the sake of arguments from supposed qualified people to say, oh no, cannabis is illegal, cannabis is not. In no way we're pushing forward for that, when we all can see the clear benefits of that. So yeah, it's just writing those things down. I'm going to do that, and amongst other things, and pushing forward for this culture. Oh man, that's classic. That's probably the best comment we've had. For everybody, Coles is like the supermarket. It's like what do you guys call it over there? You got Walmart, I guess, but it's not like a Target. It's a grocery shopping center. What's a grocery shopping center in America? I know UK's got the Sainsbury's and JC. Oh no, JC Penney is in America, isn't it? But that's like a Maya. It's like a clothes store. What is it? It's Sainsbury's and Wall. Oh, I can't remember. There was another one. There's two. Which one is it? They got the ultimate one. Oh, is that the one that they bake themselves? Like it's in the clear plastic case, or is it something that's in a packet on the shelf? Because I like those ones that the bakery does. It's like they got biscuits. Sometimes it's not. Yeah, I do like the white chocolate. Wow, really? I mean, you could add people do it for sure. Alcohol, I'm not a fan of at all. At all. Like, and even for eating, when it, like people have rum-soaked cake or something like that. Not really a fan of that flavor at all. Anyway, I'll put some wine. There's something I make a chicken. This orange chicken. Like you get orange juice, some white wine, salt and pepper, garlic, and some chili, and maybe some couple herbs if you want it, and just soak that all together and marinate that as long as possible. And then fry it or grill it off. I find it really yummy. The sweetness from the orange and the wine with the chili makes it really yum. I haven't done that in a while, but you gotta let it sit for a little while to marinate. If you just do it for like a few minutes and let it sit, there'll be no flavor in the meat. It's going to be like a couple hours at least. All right, I'm going to kick it down because it's been 3.5 hours. So I really, really appreciate everybody hanging around. And if you watch this on the replay, thank you so much. Whichever way, if you've got this far in the stream, I very much appreciate it. I hit this Billy and then get out of here. So if you got a code, please do join and enjoy. Check it out. Peace to yourself. I better take this thing off. I do hope the sound has come through clear as well. And pitch is good. I've got, anyway, talking to myself. I got this, I got that. So, cheers everyone. All right. That's it, man. Peace out. Hope to see you guys soon. I'm sure I will. Stay blessed. As I say, look inside yourself, find your direction, follow that path, be the best you can be honest, be yourself, follow your intuition, recognize nature has a remedy because ganja is the greatest gift given. And we're going to free the yarndi, and I hope to see you guys soon. Stay well and be blessed. You know what I'm saying.